I'm happy to just, if it's just me, I'll just take your writing credit.
Oh,
It's just me, right? It's just Andrew Rudy.
Okay, let's calm
It's
down.
just
Okay.
Andrew Rudy.
It's a group. It's collective.
Oh, it's a collective now.
It's a group of minds.
I see. Cool.
One, two, three.
There.
We are still slightly off from each other.
I just need some marker to line up the video.
Oh, she didn't clap. What's her name again?
Kylie Jenner.
Oh, Kylie Jenner, yes. Beloved mother to Travis Scott's daughter, Stormy Scott Jenner.
So true. Okay.
Still can't believe you don't use dark mode. Can you believe it? A guy like you that wears all this black, has black hair, and use normal light mode on your iPhone.
Well, okay. I'll explain why I use light mode instead of dark mode. It's because, so I have, you've seen this.
Okay.
I have many like lock screens,
Okay, sure.
like categories of lock screens.
Uh-huh.
Like I have my Chemical Romance lock screen,
Yep.
and I have like Sonic the Hedgehog and the Powerpuff Girls,
Uh-huh.
and just like a bunch of different lock screens. When I use dark mode
Uh-huh.
on the iPhone, the apps all look too similar, and I have my apps categorized by color
Oh,
on the home screen. So I have blue, green, red.
man.
So the dark mode just turns them all the same color. So I originally did that. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I'm trying to find my app and I realize my red page and my green page and my blue page, they're all just the same color now. Unless the like subject of the app logo.
how long have you been doing that? How long have you been color coordinating your app pages?
Since I got this phone, which is probably like 3 years ago. So
Is that a form of neurodivergency?
could be. It honestly could be. You know,
Okay.
it's a rampant trait amongst creatives. So
I don't do that, and I'm pretty creative. But it's okay. I use dark mode. I like dark mode because I was born in the darkness. It's just nice to be in the night.
Okay.
You know, I was born at like 1 a.m.
All right. So this is episode 1 of the August Drama Podcast, or the August Drama Pod,
Or just the drama pod.
or just the Drama Pod. Basically, key points to take away are that this is on the August Drama YouTube channel, and this is a podcast.
Is it?
So whatever you choose to call it, or whatever is in the title, whether it's the August Drama Podcast, the Drama Pod, the August Drama Pod, it is, key points to take away are that it's a podcast, and we are the August Drama, which you might have noticed from our shirts that we're wearing, designed by yours truly.
Yes. She did it all by herself.
Kylie Jenner, the same designer that designed her Met Gala look here, designed these August Drama shirts. Shout out to whoever that is, because I can't remember who this Met Gala designer is. Anyways, so yeah, this is episode 1. Really exciting. I'm going to try to not block my face with the microphone, which I realize I'm kind of doing. But
Just keep doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Just like-
I think people will be able to tell you apart from the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. So let's start off with introductions, right?
Okay. That sounds like a
So-
good place.
Let's start with the umbrella, and then we're going to break it down. So the umbrella, what unites us here, what unites all of us here,
Yes.
is the August Drama. So I think we should explain what the August Drama is.
Okay.
The August Drama,
I can do it.
you want to do it?
I want to do it. So the August Drama is essentially a band. It's a band, and we play music, and we do it together with instruments. And yeah, it's formed by a couple people. Andrew, take it away.
Okay, let me expand upon that. So the August Drama is a band. I'm gonna go ahead and say it started by me. It is invented by me. My name is Andrew Rudy, and the August Drama is kind of like, it's sort of like a rebrand for what was originally my solo music, but as I have gotten to work with more musicians and play shows with more musicians, I found like the urge, the need to make it a project that's like more than just myself, my name. That's what feels most comfortable for me. So I came up with the name The August Drama, and basically it is composed of sort of like a rotating ensemble of musicians with certain people being more present than others. Like Ace here is a pretty constant member of the August Drama. And so I kind of like to think of it like the Justice League or like the Teen Titans in like musical form, where there are many members that comprise the August Drama, and certain occasions different members will show up to play, but it's always the August Drama. That's always the name of the group. So that's the way I can best describe it, and that's the state that it's in for right now. That's just how we've been doing it, like full transparency. I would absolutely love to like, you know, have like staple members. And Ace, I think, is like one of the closest things to a staple member of the group, like someone kind of just playing in the group all the time. So Ace plays guitar for the August Drama. And we're going to introduce ourselves as well, so I don't want to introduce you too much. But in terms of the August Drama, Ace plays guitar, and he helps with writing the music. Everybody on their own respective instruments helps write the music, because I pretty much let everyone just write what they want for their instrument, you know, have freedom. I try not to be too overbearing with the creative direction, also because I don't want to tell anybody how to play their instrument that they can play better than I can. But
do you play instruments?
I play the trumpet probably just as well as you do.
I think I probably play better than you.
Ace and I both played the trumpet in our formative years in school, and I know a little bit of piano and a little bit of guitar. I've taken like super beginning classes for both of them, so if you asked me to play chords on like a keyboard or a guitar, I probably could do it, but I can in no way, shape, or form like accompany myself or like any other musician. At that point, I have a really like rudimentary knowledge. I would say my most proficient instrument other than my voice is the trumpet, because I was playing that for like 5 years.
Oh,
I want to say
okay.
all 3 middle school years.
Can you show us your embouchure?
You just want me to buzz my lips?
No, you just get it in
Y'all
your lips.
Can see my embouchure.
Yeah, can we see that
the
embouchure?
These lips are not brought to you by any doctor. They're brought to you by 5 years of buzzing together on the trumpet. That's how, if you want full lips, just, you know, go.
Oh yeah, buzz a little bit more
trumpet.
for us. Can you do one more time? Can we get a replay? Oh, now if only you were in tune. But that's good. That's good.
Cool. Yeah. Let's hear you sing.
Well,
Come on,
I'm
C
not
major
here,
scale.
I'm
Give
not
us a
here
C
to
major.
sing.
Give us a C major. Okay, I didn't ask for chromatic because there were a lot of sharps and flats in there. Anyways.
Oh, wow.
Anyways.
Okay, also, Andrew's been talking too long, so I'm going to jump in here.
Wait. Did we introduce the August Drama fully?
No, I was going to
Okay.
pick up where you left off.
Okay.
Because there's me. I'm also a part of the August Drama.
Yeah.
My name is Ace, and I play guitar in the August Drama.
And sometimes
the bass.
Mm-hmm.
And I give Andrew feedback on different ideas with the direction of the group.
This is very true. I come to you the most out of anybody in my circle for like super vulnerable stages of the creative process for your feedback. So that is a crucial role, and I'm sorry for not bringing that up in my introduction.
I also use you for those same things, not use in like a bad way, like we consult each other
Yes.
for many different factors of life.
And that takes a lot of trust because, and this could be a whole podcast topic, but I have really like learned my lesson from sharing early stages of music to the wrong people. It can kind of sabotage a song. You know, if you show the early stages of a song to someone who like does not understand the creative process or the creative vision, it can really make you like not want to complete it. And I have crossed that bridge so many times and swore, you know, to never share a song until it was pretty much done, and so I could actually show someone my vision and then get feedback on it. But with you, I have opened back up vulnerably to that point. So until it bites me in the ass, I'm back to sharing more early stages of songs to people who I trust and respect creatively, like Ace.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for trusting me enough to open up. I'm also in a group called Animals Over People. Operates a little similar to August Drama in the sense that I come up with a lot of the ideas, and I do a lot of it on my own, but I have, you know, a lot of great musicians that I play with, namely shout out to Ben Ross. He's been playing with me the longest out of anybody, and he's just an excellent musician. He's in another group called Marguerite. He's got his own group called Yeah Sure Okay, so definitely check them out. They're all cool. But Animals Over People, yeah, I just make alternative music of all different kinds. And I love also working with other musicians like Andrew, who helped out a lot on my last album with creative direction, consultation, a little production and engineering, songwriting.
Cyberworld is the name of the last album.
That's right. And now, you know, coming off of that, I think this is an excellent way to just grow artistically and just, you know, share a glimpse into our minds.
And autistically.
And that too. You know, autism is important.
Yes.
Yes. I love people who have autism.
It's my favorite letter in LGBTQIA.
Mine is a different letter, but I'll get into that on another episode.
You're not even going to fight against.
No. I'll get into
and being for autism and LGBTQIA.
No. It's an important letter.
But that's not what it stands for.
Says who?
The LGBTQIA community. Probably asexuals want to keep the A to themselves.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't actually stand for autism.
Well, you know, asexual, August Drama. I have a favorite letter of that alphabet, which will be revealed in time through these episodes. But for now, I think it's important that we get into another great topic here.
Why did we start the August Drama podcast? Honestly, it came up as a joke from Ace to me on that phone call.
I do those a lot.
Ace and I have like multi-hour long phone calls regularly. So why not like film it, turn it into content, and like actually put it somewhere? Because I do feel like our phone calls would be like very entertaining podcasts.
Oh yeah.
We do talk about a range of things. So this is just our go at kind of turning those conversations into something that, you know, maybe you guys might be interested in, and you can enjoy this completely separate and apart from the August Drama being a band doing any music. Like, you could literally just consume this podcast and play it while you're driving or cooking or anything, and that would be cool.
Taking a shower.
It's
important to take showers. Don't forget to do that.
I have a little clear window thing that I stuck to my shower wall that allows me to like put my phone in it and like play YouTube videos.
That is iPad baby activity.
It is iPad baby activity, but I must say I have used it. I use it almost every time
I take
a shower.
You're proud of that?
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
listening to YouTube videos like podcasts, which is what I normally do, or listening to music.
ASMR?
I haven't listened to ASMR in the shower. I feel like that's a dangerous activity.
Oh, is it? Why? What is dangerous about
Because
that?
ASMR relaxes you and kind of makes you sleepy.
Oh,
And like, what if I
okay.
slip? What if I get too relaxed and slip?
Yeah,
So I haven't done that.
the sphincter might get too relaxed too.
Okay.
That wouldn't be good. I mean, I guess in the shower, it's not the worst place for that to get relaxed. But
long story short, the podcast is an idea because Ace and I are professional yappers, and what better way to use the August Drama platform than to also yap on it?
and it's to shed light on this new group, this new endeavor, and also, like Andrew said, just keep you entertained. Maybe you like us, maybe you want to rock with us, you like what we're talking about, the personality. You can do that too. We're more than just the music.
Yeah, and it's fun because, you know, you guys are following the early stages of a new band, and you can grow along with us because we'll be talking about things that the band is doing on this episode right here and also on future episodes. You know, this is, I see a lot of potential in this podcast to just have cool little, like, behind the scenes nuggets that maybe, like, wouldn't be shared in as, like, professional or like on stage spotlight on it as like an Instagram post, but you know, maybe could be shared more casually here. And then that way, if people do end up being fans of the music and the group, then this is a great motivator to tune in, because it's like we could share something like that we're kind of not supposed to share early on.
Yeah, job recruiters are gonna love this.
Yep.
You know, in my phone, I have your contact saved as Andrew the August Drama Rudy.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you want to talk about how we met and how we started working together?
Okay, we can do that. Well, you see, there's this app, and
What the hell? What the hell you going on about? That is not how
I don't
we
even
met.
know what I was gonna say.
Ace and
There's
I-
an app called Instagram. Okay,
That's
And
also
I was-
not how we met.
Were you gonna let me finish the story? Okay. As I was saying, there's an app called Instagram. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. Oh wait, this might be going on there. Still fuck Mark Zuckerberg. Either way, I had a show back in 2021 at this place called Adults Only. I posted about it online. People were coming through. Our good friend who also plays in the August Drama, Josh Moroner.
He plays bass for the August Drama.
That's right. Give it up for Josh, everybody.
Woo, go Josh. Insert picture here.
And
Insert picture on Kylie Jenner's neck.
yeah, this is essentially Josh. He looks kind of like that.
He looks just, everyone tells him all the time, you look just like Kylie Jenner.
He's got Kylie Jenner lips and hips.
Sure does.
But yeah, so you know, we're playing the show and Josh is inviting people, and one of the people he invites is Andrew over here. I didn't know who the hell this guy was, but I remember for some reason we got into an Uber together. We were in an Uber, and the Uber driver was like talking to us about all these chicks that he bangs on the job or whatever, and we were all just kind of in the back laughing and smiling awkwardly and having a good time. And Andrew was watching the show. I don't know what Andrew thought of the show, but he seemed chill. He had his little flappy curly blonde hair. I remember you had on like a cutoff vest flannel shirt kind of thing going on. You looked like if you were a werewolf in like a teen 80s movie, you know?
So this is a perfect moment to like interject my POV. So Josh and I, basically the connecting points between Ace, Josh, and me is that we all were attending the University of Southern California.
Oh, yeah.
Josh and I, this was during the pandemic, so everything was online. Josh and I were in this club called the Songwriters Forum, and the whole point of the club was to meet people to write music with. So kind of cool, very full circle that here we are now. And then at the end of every semester, the club would release an album comprised of songs that you made with the people that you met in the club. So I worked with Josh amongst like a couple other people, and we all made a song together.
What was the name of the song?
That's not important. And so Josh was one of the first people that I met in person during the pandemic, because I actually went over to his house to help him record bass. He like recorded upright bass and his electric bass for the song. And so Josh up until that point was like one of the few people that I actually had met face to face. And so after that moment, he, told me about this show that he was playing with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited to go to it because at this point I was like really thirsty for human interaction. And this was like, a live show where presumably like other people from USC were going to be there. I think it might have been announced that like the coming semester at USC was going to be in person. Mm-hmm. So I was on cloud 9. I was like, yes, sign me up. I will literally go to anything where there will be people. So I did not give a single shit about who was playing, what was happening.
Ouch.
Literally could have been a broomstick on stage on front of a microphone. And it basically was.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. So I went. It's this really cool venue called Adults Only. I also played there later on in my career. And Ace was playing, and Josh was playing bass with Ace. And Ace is and was Animals Over People. That's Ace's artistic project. And that's how I met Ace. And yeah, I forgot why we all got into an Uber.
Yeah.
It was like some weird thing. I think someone parked like far away or something.
It must have been Josh wanted to put his bass away, but he didn't want to walk there, so we took an Uber.
Yeah, we took an Uber like very close. And so that's kind of how I met Ace.
Also, I want to say, if you guys can't tell on the camera, Andrew has a very distinctive quality about him. But I remember the thing that I kept seeing when I was talking to this motherfucker in the back of the Uber. I was like, this motherfucker has intense eyes. Like, your eyesight was just very piercing. Like,
okay,
editor,
which
zoom
is
in
me.
on his eyes?
Editor, which is me, put in the Miley Cyrus blue eye stare meme. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No. I'm not on that side of Twitter. I'm sorry. That's exactly what the fuck I saw.
That is what he saw in the little rearview mirror up there. Was just
that's the face. That was the face. Yeah, you were kind of like Goldilocks in a way too.
I had bleach blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
I was wearing
very white teeth too.
Yeah, and that
Chip
was before.
Skylark.
That was before I whitened them. So
they
should be even whiter now, but they also shouldn't be whiter now because I also drink so much coffee.
And Dr.
It's probably
Pepper.
leveled down.
I mean Coke.
Diet Coke as well.
Yeah.
It's probably gone back down to where it was. So I do need to get them whitened again. But yeah, and I was wearing my little a flannel button-down shirt,
black jeans
with the like sleeves torn off because I was really into that. And yeah, then from there, Ace and I actually we were in the same major in school. Mm-hmm. We both studied music industry, so we kind of from that point forward just kind of kept on overlapping. Seeing each other at certain points.
We didn't talk that much.
We didn't talk that much. I think. Probably until we had that one class together.
Like at the end of my time there?
At the end of your time, we had a class with our professor. His name is Jonathan Azu, and it was like a class about music management.
Yeah.
And Ace and I had that, and it was a night class. So most of the music industry classes were in the evening. So it was a very long night class. And so I feel like in those settings, you do just bond with people that you're around more because no one kind of wants to be there at night, even though it's a really cool major and it's like a really cool class. So, I was excited. I pretty much never missed a class. Ace missed a lot of classes.
Why would you put that on me? I did not miss that much class.
Because you did. But I feel like we got really close there. And then outside of that, I don't know. We just our friendship was like very just steady growing. There was never any one instance where we got close. I do remember after you graduated,
we talked more.
I would see you randomly just throughout my following years at USC. I would just see you randomly on campus and at the village, the USC village. And I feel like it was actually in those instances where we got kind of close because those instances we kind of just hung out. And like every time, I feel like every next time I saw you, I was like more like enthusiastic to like see you. I was like happier to see you. It was like a cooler thing because it kept on happening. So I feel like from that point we kind of just like started getting to know each other just through hanging out and not being in a class. And it was very steady from then on.
I forgot about that, but I did run into you a lot post graduating.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And you would be on campus, like you would tell me that you like were only there for like an hour or something,
Yeah,
so a
yeah.
little spurt. So I would just like hang with you until you had to leave or until I had a class.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have anything going on, because I commuted to USC a lot, so I was there until my last class of the day. And like I said, like music industry classes were generally at the end of the day, and other classes like for your major requirement were earlier in the day. So there were some days that I could literally be there from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's was a
intense.
thing. Yeah. So I would just be on campus. So in those instances where I am literally on campus until my last class and I have these huge gaps of time, and like you're on there for a gap of time, like I thought it was really fun to just like hang out with you.
And also for clarity, because I know that might come off, people might be wondering, why are you back hanging around campus when you're graduated?
you were like working
I
nearby.
was working nearby. I was
Yeah.
working across the street. So when I'd go on my lunch break or something, I'd like pop into the village, or I'd walk around the campus, and then I'd run into this guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I think the progression of our friendship is like a very healthy
Yeah.
one.
Is there an unhealthy way to progress relationships?
I think in any relationship, when things move really fast, it opens the door for like as soon as it starts is as soon as it could end.
I know how that goes.
So I think that's like for any relationship. So just when you move really fast with anything, you know, it's like when you're like watching a YouTube video, some of you might be watching this YouTube video on 2x speed. Yes, you're watching everything, but you're not actually processing everything.
yeah.
I feel like that is also how it goes in relationships as well, like friendships too. When the relationship is moving fast, things get glossed over. So things that might be like relationship enders or like friendship enders, but when they move slow, you're really forced to take it all in, and you know, okay. And then if you don't like the person, then you have more of an opportunity to just cut it short, let it fizzle out because it's already moving slow.
Well, this is interesting because I feel like I've never experienced this with friendships. If it's something outside of a friendship, yes. But friendships,
relationships are relationships.
but I feel like with friendships, I've never hopped into one and been like, "Oh, this is moving too fast." Like, whoa, I feel like a friendship.
I'll give a great example.
Okay.
One of my first friends at USC, you know this person. We're not going to name this person. We became like pandemic online friends, and that did feel like it moved really fast.
Okay.
Because this person would like call me on the phone every day, and like FaceTime with me every single day.
Oh, I don't answer FaceTimes.
And so I was talking with this person more than I had talked to anyone in my life. I'm not a huge like phone talker in general. My conversations with you are like the few that I have on the phone. I'm normally a texter because I also like having a paper trail for everything. Like I like receipts.
Oh my god.
I just do. I do. So
Watch
yeah,
what you say to this dude.
for real. Watch what you say to anyone. Moral of the story. But yes, especially with me. But so I was talking to this person a lot. The relationship moved very fast. And I'm sorry to say, but like friendships forged online, you do not get to know the person in their entirety like like it is when you meet them, because I saw we were very far into our relationship by the time that school became in person. Like a year and a half in, I would probably consider this person my closest friend at this school. And it wasn't until we were in person that I saw a lot of red flags.
Am I friends with this person?
You were.
I was.
You knew them.
I knew them, but I maybe wasn't their friend.
You know this person.
Is it who I think it is?
Yes.
Okay, I know who it is.
So
I wasn't their friend. We were friendly.
friendly.
Yeah,
Yeah. He was in the same major as us. They were in the same major as us.
I had some talks with said person.
There were lots of overlapping paths with this person. But there were a lot of red flags with this person. And, I feel like me, at least, when I'm already like really into a relationship or something, at that point in time, I didn't want to end it. It felt weird ending it, but the red flags were there, and things got really bad when like it had to get really bad for me to end it, because until then it just, I don't know, I kept on making excuses.
That's what happens when you loan out your social security number, Andrew. You can't do that.
I know, and lesson learned.
Yeah.
Because now there are 2 Andrew Rudies out in the world.
And one of
that's
them's
why. That's why I had to share my. That's why I had to change my hair color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time I had.
What?
I'll save it for another episode.
Okay.
Or actually, you can cut this out. But one time I had to change my Instagram handle because somebody was trying to blackmail me.
I heard this story.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Watch what you do on the internet.
Right. And so I guess to, tie a bow up to this story, we started working together musically.
What was the first time?
The first time,
because I don't know if I remember.
I think it was for this album that I'm working on for the August Drama.
Wow, so still pretty recent.
Pretty recent in the grand
It
scheme of
feels
things.
like longer.
It does feel like longer. I would say maybe 2 years ago, if not almost 2 years ago. Because it's definitely been over a year ago that we started creatively working together. But
maybe late 23.
I started writing with Ace around a little bit before the August Drama was officially the August Drama, when this next album that we're working on, was originally going to be just an Andrew Rudy album. So that was when we started working creatively. And then Ace we worked on a few of his songs on his last album that came out, called Cyberworld.
Yeah.
But that's how we started working together creatively. But before then, we were I should at least say you were very supportive of the music that I was putting out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember when my album Into the Inferno came out, it was around the time I graduated from USC. You were very supportive, like through your messages and stuff. And like, he bought a CD and everything. And so I don't know. I guess if you want to view it from there, I feel like that's where I really saw the support from you, just as a friend. But then creatively, like you actually being on a project, probably closer to 2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, that checks out. Wow, we've known each other for a while now.
I know. Yeah. Time is crazy.
It is.
Because when you say like, oh, we met around 2021, and then you realize it's 2025 right now.
Actually, I want to say it was in July of 2021, so going on 4 years, because it was in the summer.
Yeah. So time is crazy, because at some points it feels like 11 years ago, and then at some points it feels like just yesterday.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Also, fun fact about that show, I will never forget that show, because about a week before, I had been working at Walmart during that time, and it was actually almost during a time where I was going to quit, and I was like moving some crates inside, and when I was pulling them, my hand got stuck between the crates and the door, and then it cut my hand like pretty bad, and I had like a really nasty wound. So during the show, I had like a bandage wrapped around my hand.
I remember that. I remember the bandage, and I remember you were wearing some really flamboyant hat.
It was a cowboy hat.
Cowboy hat.
You think that's flamboyant?
I don't know. I just remember.
It was a cowboy hat. And I had my animal shirt.
Yes.
Blue animal shirt, red pants.
You had a really strong image. And I was like, okay, this guy, I was very surprised, because you guys will probably eventually, Josh will most likely be a guest on this podcast at some point in time. You will get to know the kind of person Josh is. And I was very surprised to see Josh playing with how you were presenting yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Because Josh does not dress that way or present himself that way. And so I was kind of taken aback. I was like, wow, this is not what I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect, but like, this was just not what I was expecting. But I've always loved that about Ace, is that very much like me, but in different ways, he is like not afraid to express himself in what he wears. And that bravery, especially in men, is very commendable. Yes,
Like
and
this shirt. I'm not afraid to wear this shirt with animated versions of us and
no
Josh.
matter how much you should be afraid, we should all be afraid. Do not go outside wearing the August Drama shirts. You will become a target. Lots of people have such strong feelings about the band.
It's very polarizing.
It's very polarizing. So, definitely proceed with caution if and when these shirts become available merch.
Well, it's not if.
When? Yes, when they become
They are available.
merch.
If you want one, you can just hit
Honestly,
one of us up right
if,
now.
If you do want a shirt and you just want to DM us, then
right
I will
now,
sell you a shirt.
We got this little jalopy. Andrew is driving, even though Andrew doesn't have his license.
I do have my license. I didn't have my license when we met, but I
Oh.
do have my license now.
Yes. And I'm in the car. I'm here.
You're dangling in the back.
No, that's Josh.
No, that's you.
That is Josh
That's you.
dangling in the back.
Josh does not have that deep of a tan.
They look the same. We're all the same color.
We're not.
See, also Andrew has this weird thing where whenever he animates us,
Oh my
he
God.
cannot get my skin tone right to save his life. I'll be like, Andrew, that is too dark.
This is
And then
really painting me in a negative light. At least I'm not whitewashing you. Listen, I have to take a moment. To acknowledge
Andrew loves drawing.
this is the Kylie Jenner doll behind us. I am a doll collector. I'm in the Bratz community. I see every time doll collectors get pissed off when a dark-skinned or darker-skinned doll gets portrayed in the box art with white skin. It's called whitewashing.
Oh yeah,
And
I like dolls.
the doll collectors get pissed when Sasha or Yasmin from Bratz get portrayed with lighter skin. So after years of being exposed to that, I'm just very hypersensitive. I don't want to make anybody lighter than they actually are. So you know what? A result of that might be me making you slightly darker than you are.
When you give that context, it breaks it down for me better. I understand.
Because I never would want it to come across that I'm trying to lighten your skin. But also, skin tones are very tricky. I whitewash my own skin tone when I draw, because also when I am color dropping on my iPad my own skin tone, I'm really picking the skin tone that's the foundation that I wear, which is not wearing it right now, but when I wear foundation, I like to go a shade or two lighter, because I really like
Vampires.
I like the vampire look. I like the never has been exposed to the sun look. So I lighten my own skin tone when I draw, because that's if I'm gonna do that with makeup, I'm gonna do that with the color dropper tool.
There was another pop singer that did that too.
I mean, another pop singer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Ace. That was very funny. Anyways, yeah. So even though I choose to do that for myself, I would never want to take one of my friends like Ace and then give him a lighter.
So what
skin
color
tone.
would you say I am if you had to put a label on the color?
The color I choose is normally kind of a caramelly color.
Okay. You think I'm caramelly?
I don't think you're necessarily as warm toned as a
Okay.
caramel. I think you're a cool toned caramel.
Oh,
A
cool tone
caramel with cool undertones.
I'm gonna use that on my Hinge profile.
That's how. What would you describe my skin tone as?
I would say you are fleshy.
That makes no sense.
Why?
When I think of fleshy, I think of pink.
You're like when you put a chicken in the oven and it's been in there for maybe 30 minutes or so. It's not raw, but it's not quite there where it needs to be. But it's if you eat it, are you gonna get sick?
Probably.
You might, but
So
it's
I'm
still gonna be
rare.
juicy.
I'm a rare.
You're a rare chicken.
Which is not how you should consume chicken.
No, but it's okay.
Right.
It's okay. You're a good-looking rare chicken.
I
Don't
mean,
worry.
after me saying that I intentionally pick lighter shades of foundation, I can't really argue with that. I will say though, I do get upset when people tell me I look tanner,
Oh, you do?
because that
Oh,
is
that's racially
or
motivated.
I get upset when people say it looks like I've gotten a tan, or it looks like I was purposefully trying to tan, because I purposely try to not tan because I'm trying so hard to get that dark shadows vampire look. And that happened to me the other day,
Oh.
where a coworker that we might both know.
Okay.
I
Can you
walk
say it
into,
and bleep their name?
I don't know if I feel comfortable. With
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Okay. It was.
Okay.
I walk into the back, and she goes like, "Oh, like you look so tan. Like you look like." I'm like, "Oh no!" I literally said, "Oh no."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, you look so tan." I'm like, "Oh no, really?" And she's like, "No, like in a good way, like sun-kissed." And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I'm trying to like say thank you because I know how it comes across. Like
Uh-huh.
because
Nobody
for the
says that in a
majority-
bad way.
for the majority of people, yeah, it's a compliment. But in my
Yeah.
head, I'm like, damn it. I have been slathering on sunblock all of these days to try to the summer is my biggest op because I
Okay.
try to keep my winter shade of skin in the throughout the summer.
Yeah.
And here we are at the very beginning of summer. I have just been like lathering my face every day with sunblock. And then the first thing this person says when I walk in the room is that I look sun-kissed. And I'm like, oh my God. Like the biggest like mission failed stamp that you could ever get. So that's me. It has nothing to do with race or
That's
whatever.
deeply motivated or deeply rooted in race.
I don't think it's deeply rooted
How
in race.
people always want to be lighter in society and cultures all around the world. That is deeply rooted in race. Andrew.
Listen, my motivations are just based in trying to look like a vampire. That's the same reason why I darken my hair. Clock that, camera. That's the same reason why I darken my hair color and I want my skin as ghostly pale as possible is because I want to look like a vampire.
I
That's
think
like
you got to start committing to it more. You got to start sleeping in dirt. You know, you got to like only go out at night. Really, you know, stay up later at night so that way you got bags under your eyes. You know.
But I want to be a pretty vampire.
Okay, so still do those things, but just put on more makeup.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to fully commit to the bit.
So this has been a tutorial on how to look like a vampire from Ace,
Yeah.
the resident expert.
I play a good amount of Oblivion. I've been a vampire in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I know how these things go.
Okay, well, should we move on to our next topic?
Yes, let's move on.
Childhood. Wonderful. So this comes straight out of our phone call,
Yeah.
one of our phone calls that we had recently. And we were just talking about a bunch of stuff from our childhood, like nostalgia. But one thing in particular we were talking about was how fun websites used to be,
Mm-hmm.
particularly like DisneyChannel.com,
Mm-hmm.
Cartoon Network,
Armor
Nickelodeon,
Games. Addicting Games.
MostFunGames.
MostFunGames.com.
Club Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Websites were just fun. But I think particularly those television network websites
Mhm.
had a very big charm to them. Like there was such an intense focus on the games
Mm-hmm.
on those websites, which it's kind of like strange to think about now, but back then it was so obvious. Like it was like the big three channels were like all kind of against each other. It was like
Oh,
which
yeah.
website had the best games? Was it Nick? Was it Disney? Or was it Cartoon Network?
Okay, I'm going to say right off the bat, Nickelodeon hands down had the worst website.
I agree.
They had some cool things, but for the most part, their games were ass. The website kind of lagged a little bit.
Yeah.
But Nickelodeon did have a cool interactive website. I like the noises that the website made.
And there was a point in time where they did try to hop onto the Club Penguin trend,
yeah.
and they did have their own version of like a Club Penguin.
Neopets?
No,
Oh.
but Neopets was lit. But they did have like it's hard to describe. It was like a Club Penguin, but with human avatars, but
Mhm.
like it was in the Nickelodeon universe.
Yeah.
But it was still human.
Mhm.
Like you were humans. You weren't like cartoon characters.
Okay.
It was really interesting. It was for like a very short while. I would say they really hopped on the middle to end of that trend.
So when was that, like early 2010s, you'd say?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That was when it started to die.
It was too late, yeah, for people to get hooked on it because the games in those categories were already established.
Yeah.
But So that was a fun point in the website. But otherwise, as a kid, I feel like you were just bouncing around all three of those websites.
Yeah.
Like you were playing Cartoon Network until you got bored of it. You were playing Disney Channel the games on the Disney Channel website until you got bored of it, or you were playing the games on Nick's website if you were really, really bored of the other two.
Also, this might be jumping ahead a little bit, but Nickelodeon, what they did have, the Teen Nick website, all those personality quizzes. Did you ever do those?
That was no, I really reveled in like the actual games.
So let's get into some of those games.
Yes.
Because I have a list too. I was thinking of some stuff and I was digging deep, and I found some things that I was thinking about.
So, I mean, one category of games that I loved in every website, I feel like it was very prevalent on Disney's website, were the dress-up games.
Okay.
And they were mainly on, like, the girly pop show pages. Like, Hannah Montana had such a fun dress-up game where you dressed Hannah. I think Lizzie McGuire had a dress-up game and, like, a nail polish manicure game. Any game that was basically the gist of it was just avatar creation, and then you could print out what you made. I salivated at the mouth for. I loved those games so much. I would just keep on redoing it. I would keep on printing them. I thought it was so fun.
Using all your family's ink.
Using all the ink. I think a reason also why I liked it was because you actually did get a physical reward from the game via the printout, and I was very much into that. Not even for a moment thinking about the environment.
That kind of stuff was fun. The stuff that you print out and then you get to cut them out. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I liked more of the the clicky kind of games where you just like point and click and move where you want to move, and you didn't have to use the keyboard too much. Those games were really, really fun.
I really liked the kind of like I liked the platformers, and I liked, this was also very prevalent on like on Disney Channel's website, but the games where you were like semi-platformers and you also had to like hide from things.
So
like
God,
the Sweet Life Sweet Life of Zack and Cody had like 2 games like that. And they were both so much fun and like got my heart beating so fast, because you would like, it was like a platformer because you had to like go to the goal point of the level, the end point of the level, but you also had to like Assassin's Creed, like hide in behind like curtains and stuff while like people were crossing, and then like unhide and then proceed. I love those so much.
Okay. All right, you know what? Let's jump into some specific games, because I found a website that had like the top 20 Flash games from CartoonNetwork.com, and some of them were the ones I really liked.
Cartoon Network probably is the best out of all of those in terms of the games they had. They were so fun. If Cartoon Network went and just released those games as like digital downloads on like the Nintendo Switch or like
even the
Xbox,
App Store,
PlayStation App Store, if they just released those games on there, I think it would break the internet, because they were all so good. And
would they though? Are these too niche? Do you think people even remember this stuff?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, but they were also like fun. Like
they were.
Even if like kids have no clue what they're tied to, if they just released these games like now, people would love them. The Teen Titans like Street Fighter skin
I remember
game,
that one, yeah.
So much fun. Fusion Fall, which is a little bit different. That was
like a Unity game.
That was a Unity game.
That's when things started to get advanced, and my mom was getting sick of me because I kept being like, "Can you hit yes to download this?"
Yeah, that was the beginning of games that made your computer sound like a plane taking off.
Oh yeah,
or like get super warm.
And back then it was like before Windows Vista Home Premium. What was the Windows before that? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Windows XP. It was Windows XP and Windows Vista. Downloading all those damn Unity games. There was one, it was Ed, Edd n Eddy Lunchroom Rumble, and it was like all the characters and you'd be throwing food at each other in the cafeteria.
Never played it.
There was the Powerpuff Girl All Monsters Attack. Do you remember that one? It was also like a fighting game. It was
because the Powerpuff Girls in general, I'll say the Powerpuff Girls is and was and is my shit. I love the Powerpuff Girls so
Mhm.
much, and
I can tell by the way you dress.
thank you.
You dress like a Powerpuff Girl.
Thank you very much. And I loved all of the games.
Yeah.
Most of the games, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one, it was like a fighting game. You could be like in big robot suits and shit.
The one where you're Dynamo?
Yes.
The one with the red pigtails?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that brings tangent. Dynamo from the Powerpuff Girls is probably one of my favorite, I guess you would call it like side characters.
Okay.
It's not even a character. It's a mech suit
Mhm.
that Professor Utonium makes for the girls so they'll be safer while fighting. And it's this giant mech suit with the coolest like color scheme. The Powerpuff Girl eyes are like yellow,
Mhm.
and it's like very much the way I draw my cartoon
Oh, yeah.
eyes, but it's like yellow, and then the skin is like the metallic gray,
Mhm.
and then everything else is like red,
Yeah, they had red on them.
black, and then like a blue bow.
Yeah.
And it was like an amalgamation of all the girls. So it had Blossom's bow, it had Bubbles' pigtails, and it had like Buttercup's like little middle part.
Yeah.
And the second I saw that as a kid, like it really changed something in me. And I remember the game with Dynamo
It might have been that one.
on the Cartoon Network website, and you had to like input all of these combos, and there were so many combinations that could trigger like different attacks. Like
Yeah.
she would like extend her arms and it would like launch like a bunch of missiles.
Yeah.
It was so fun because I loved Dynamo so much. I was obsessed that they had a whole game with Dynamo.
That was a good one. There was also I found it, the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy Harem Scarum. It was like a platformer, and then the villain was the Jack-o'-lantern dude.
Ooh, the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy had really good games on Cartoon
did.
Network.
A lot of them.
They specifically had a Halloween one.
Yeah, I think that was the one
Oh,
with Harem Scarum.
but it was not like a platformer.
Oh, okay.
This was like you like walked around and
Yeah.
like you had to collect candy. It was like
I
really
think
cool.
it was that one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because I remember it was like candy corn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just so Cartoon Network really had these games that were so easy to play for hours on end.
Yeah.
Like that you could like, it's not like they were like open world.
No, but it's like
But
it didn't
you
need
could,
to be.
yeah, you could do a lot before you like finish the level.
It also felt good because this was like our way to connect with these shows. Because at the time, I feel like there weren't that many like video games that were based around the cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, and also like kind of the concept as a kid of like having year-round access to like Halloween
Oh,
in the
yeah.
form of that game,
That was
something that I feel like now is a lot more trendy. I see on TikTok a lot these like accounts literally based off of like Halloween events to go to all year.
Oh, wow.
That count down to Halloween.
Damn.
But as a kid, you like Halloween time was one of my favorite
Oh,
times
yeah.
ever. But like having access to something like that Halloween game that was so fun year round, I don't know, it just was so fun. And then when Halloween came around, it became especially fun.
Oh, yeah,
because it's
yeah.
like, oh my god, Halloween's coming. Like this is so
And all the
appropriate.
channels would change. And yeah, that was awesome. I don't know if they still do that kind of stuff. But
Well, channels aren't a thing anymore.
well, they
Like,
still are. Yeah.
they are, but like for example, like Disney Channel, I think shut down.
No, I don't believe it.
That's what I heard.
No, because when I was in Vegas at the hotel room, we were watching Phineas and Ferb.
On Disney Channel?
I'm pretty sure. It might have been Disney XD.
Well, I
wouldn't be surprised if
channels-
they're shutting down though.
channels are just like TV channels are not the same, and it makes me really sad because I am a really big proponent of like it's gonna sound really weird when I say it, but
Uh-oh.
I really enjoy like letting the network channels just choose shows for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't always want to watch a show from episode 1 to episode 7. Sometimes I just want to see The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy,
Just a random
season
episode.
2, episode 5, season 2, episode 6, and then season 3, episode 4, and then Ben 10
Yeah.
afterwards. And I don't want to have to do that curation myself.
You know, I didn't even think about that, but that is something that we lost. Because back then,
Yes.
you would just watch whatever was on TV.
Because I
Yeah.
watched a lot of TV
Mhm.
as a kid. I was very big into TV. I was very big. I was not I was not into sports. I was very big into television, and I was very big on front of the television, and
Were you as big as the television?
some might say
Okay.
before television started getting super big.
Did you ever have one of those big like TVs that had like the huge back and it would have like I think they were like projector kind of TVs, like not
Oh.
that they projected out, but like they were just like humongous TVs.
I did have the big back TV.
Okay,
And the kinds where like your family would get the piece of furniture
To put over
the
it?
purpose was for it to go in the middle of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Damn, that's a throwback.
Yeah, I did have that. But yeah, I was like very big into these channels and stuff, and just truly like a fan of the channel. I
Yeah.
loved the commercial breaks. I loved the bumpers.
Mhm.
They were all doing such creative things, even in between shows.
Yeah.
I lived for that shit. And then I found when we stopped like paying for like cable or something and everything was just streaming, I stopped watching everything. Like I didn't watch things anymore because I got like overwhelmed with what to choose to watch. I'm like, okay, on paper I like this show, and this show, but I don't necessarily want to watch the show from the pilot to the end of the series.
Yeah.
And so I just like wouldn't watch shows, and I would like see like the Powerpuff Girls on Hulu, and I'd be like, yeah, this is something I want to watch, but I never actually clicked on it.
Because also I feel like that stuff isn't meant to be watched all the way through like that,
It
because
wasn't
they didn't
created
design
that
it in
way.
that way. It would be like you watch it an episode, you know, or two every week,
But
every other
recently,
day.
I will say I got I say recently, like in the last 3 years, I
Yeah.
got Google TV.
Uh-huh.
You know, like one of the
Google.
the things that you plug into your TV.
Oh, like a Roku.
Like Apple TV, yeah, like Roku. And like it has like Roku, Pluto, Plex. It has all these like free streaming apps on there. And a lot of these ones like Roku and like Plex and some of them have like live TV.
Oh, I've seen that.
On
But
them.
it's not the same. It's weird.
It's not completely the same, but it's the closest that I've ever kind of like seen since. A lot of them you are still limited to like a one show or like a group of shows. Like I think Pluto or Plex has like different channels that will cycle between like 3 or 4 shows that are all kind of in the same genre. Like one has like Danny Phantom, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Avatar The Last Airbender. So you're not getting everything, but you are getting a variation. And the coolest thing for me is just like reliving that, like I'm tuning into the channel and I kind of don't care what episode it's on.
Because you're just like a fan of the channel and the vibe that they curate.
Yeah. So I miss that. I'll predict it right here and right now. I see it coming back.
You do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have, I don't know what it's called, like decision anxiety or like choice anxiety.
Another thing made up
like
by people on the internet.
Yes, but I do see a lot of people have that, and I think there are a lot of people like me out there that we don't like binge watching stuff. We like binge watching in general. We like the act of watching content, but we do not like binge watching a series from beginning to end. In fact, I really enjoy having to wait a week to see something, and I really miss that, and I miss getting excited.
Oh yeah, that would be crazy, especially like when you know a new episode is gonna come out and it's not just a rerun. Those were good times. We got a little off from the games. I wanted to
Yes, we
get back.
did.
That's all
Sorry.
right. That's a good topic too.
And we also just went over an hour, which is
Okay.
crazy.
All right, really quick, some other fun games I was thinking about from the Flash era. There was like a Samurai Jack one. That one was really cool. There was the Foster's Home game where there's like the girl in the middle, and then you're two of the imaginary friends, and you're like throwing something over her, and she's not supposed to catch it. There was also one I remember, it was Tom and Jerry, and you like design like a mouse trap, like a series of traps that Tom triggers.
Never played that.
No, I guess we just played different kinds of games.
Yeah. I definitely did have like my interests on the site and like did not super care to like go out of that, and then it also had to be on shows that I liked as well. Like I wouldn't go to a show that I didn't like and like play a game on
You
there.
were never that bored where you just explored the website and tried everything?
Maybe once or twice, but I don't know. It was hard for me to get into a game that like I don't care about the characters.
But I do know, because the stuff I named was like from the mid and late 2000s, but getting into the 2010s, then I know they added like the Total Drama Island game.
Yeah.
They added the Ben 10 games where you create your own levels.
Okay. I had a very pivotal moment in my childhood, and I don't know exactly how this came up. Actually, I kind of do. So I realized this really unlocked something for me.
Okay.
So picture this. It's the summer going into 9th grade.
What year is this?
I'm not going to say.
That'll help me picture it better.
No, I'm not going to say what year this is. It's the summer going into 9th grade.
Okay.
I am going to Argentina with my family because that's where my family's from, Argentina. So we're going to visit my grandma in Argentina. Argentina is it's a long flight. It's like a 13-hour direct flight, I think, or it's like 13 hours or like a little bit over 13 hours if you're taking a connecting flight. So we were taking a connecting flight. I think it like stopped in Chile or something. And so one of like the lounges or whatever had computers. So I'm using the computer in Chile and I'm going on Ben 10 Game Creator, and it's on the South American Cartoon Network website. Tell me why the characters are different on South American Cartoon Network Ben 10 Creator.
That's crazy.
And who do I see as an option? I see Ben 10 Alien Forces Gwen Tennyson as a playable character.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what the heck? This is my favorite character from the series. And I start playing as her, and she has her little pink magic blasts or mana blasts, because she's an Anodite. And
who?
She's an Anodite. It got revealed in the show that she's not a magic user. She's an Anodite. There is lore behind it in the show. Anyways,
I never got into that deep into the Ben 10 lore.
Oh, I got deep.
I stopped paying attention to the lore.
I got deep, mama.
Oh, you did?
I got deep. And you know what didn't help?
What?
That Argentina, for a hot minute, if you're from Argentina in the 2010s, was obsessed with Ben 10.
So this was like 2011?
Bootleg Ben 10 toys everywhere.
That's crazy.
Regular Ben 10 toys everywhere. I came home with so many Ben 10 toys, real and fake. It really, like, if you were like kind of into the series and easily influenced, you left that country being like, Ben 10 is my favorite show on the earth.
That show had a huge grip though, because I remember the year.
One could say a gorilla grip.
It did. Because I remember when that show was like at its peak, on my Christmas list to Santa, I said I wanted to have the Omniverse or the Omnitrix so I could turn into Heat Blast. He didn't give it to me though, but
great choice, by the way. Heat Blast was my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I want an Omnitrix like right now to this day.
Okay, would you rather have an Omnitrix or the arm thing from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, spoiler alert, I do have a dual disc. I have one already.
Yeah.
The one I have is actually really dope. And I feel like it's very on character for me. It is the demonic dual disc from the Seal of Orichalcos arc. Don't look at me like that. It looks like a scythe. Like, it looks like a Grim Reaper scythe.
Damn.
Like the disc part of it. And it has like the demonic sigils where the life points are.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's the Seal of Orichalcos dual disc, and I love it so much. And someday I would love to like cosplay.
You can do that tomorrow.
I could do it tomorrow, but the issue is that like my favorite character from the Seal of Orichalcos arc is Mai Valentine. Her first name is Mai. Her last name is Valentine. She was like the femme fatale character, kind of like a love interest to Joey. She had all the harpy ladies, and she succumbed to the Seal of Orichalcos. And so if I ever did a cosplay,
sometimes you just gotta succumb.
So true, King. And if I were to cosplay, I'd want to be gender bent Mai Valentine with the Seal of Orichalcos.
So what's stopping you?
I guess a like convention or something to go to.
Oh, Anime Con is coming in July.
Anime Expo.
Anime Expo, yeah.
What if like the August Drama podcast went there? What if you and I cosplayed and that was a podcast episode?
You know what? I'm down.
We could do that.
We can do that.
Yeah,
Well,
you could be Joey Wheeler
I don't want to be Joey.
and
I'm
I'll
going
be
to-
gender bent Mai.
You can be gender bent Mai, but I'd rather be somebody else. I want to be. I would say Inuyasha, but he was like low key kind of banging on like a 13-year-old, so I don't think that's cool.
You would have to be from like we would have to be coordinating.
Okay, well, realistically, in the anime world, people that are like close to my heritage or skin color don't exist. The closest I can think is like Killer Bee from
Cool.
Naruto.
Cool toned caramel.
Yeah,
is what we're talking
there's
about.
no cool toned caramel.
Coral blue number 2.
They don't have those in Japan apparently.
Yeah, I feel like diversity in characters didn't really start being a thing in animes until like recently,
Yeah,
relatively
but
recently.
it's okay. I still love you.
I mean,
Anime,
it would have
Japan.
but we would have to be characters from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Why can't we be from different shows?
Because if I'm gonna be a Yu-Gi-Oh character, you have to be a Yu-Gi-Oh character.
Why? Why can't I be from something else and you be from Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't make the rules. That's
What the fuck?
that's just what it is.
We'll discuss this later.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have a production meeting about
We'll have-
this.
Okay, other game. After it got out of the Flash era and the 3D stuff started coming with Unity Web Player, I remember there was a racing game called Cars of Fury, and it was like little, like small RC cars that you race around. And another one, there was this game called, oh my god. Mini Match on Cartoon Network. It came out before Fusion Fall, and it was like semi 3D, semi 2D, and you would like click around, and it was like really choppy, but you could chat with people and you could dress up in clothes of characters from Cartoon Network.
I feel like I played that.
Let me see. I'm gonna find a picture. Oh, it was this. This was what the cover looked like, if you remember it.
Okay, send that to me.
Okay.
But also, I don't remember that.
It was like, it didn't last that long, and it was before Fusion
But that
Fall.
main character is wearing the Ben 10 shirt.
Yeah, because you could
I-
buy the clothes of the characters.
I would love to have that Ben 10 shirt.
I'm sure you can find
Like
it.
I would wear that I would wear all of like Ben 10's iterations casually. Like the Ben 10 shirt with the black stripe going down the middle,
Yeah.
and then also the like jacket from
Oh,
Alien
from
Force.
the when he got older.
But actually, I feel like most of the time I dress like Gwen from Alien Force,
Yeah.
which is like in a private school uniform and loafers.
You do love the loafers.
I saw her dressed like that, and she was serving cunt with her like long red hair, and
Yeah.
she was in her like navy blue V-neck school
Oh
sweater.
my god, it's like she's
Okay.
on No Jumper.
We're gonna put Kylie there. She was in her like V-neck navy blue sweater with like the white collar underneath,
Mm-hmm.
her like black mini skirt, her like black tights, and then the like penny loafers with heels.
Okay.
I saw that and I was like, oh, that's what I want to be.
Yeah. I would get the uncle's shirt. I like that
Hawaiian
shirt. Yeah,
shirt.
the Hawaiian shirt. That was
You
fire.
do. I mean, you do give. What was his name? Max.
Oh, that's his name, Uncle Max.
Grandpa Max.
Oh, Grandpa Max. Yeah.
You give Grandpa, and you give Grandpa Max.
All right, audience. I want you to tell me. Maybe you don't know me enough, but apparently I give Grandpa
I mean,
energy.
At this point, it's been over an hour.
Okay. We'll see. Okay.
So
Virtual Worlds also.
Club
Big
Penguin.
ones. Club Penguin.
Fusion Fall,
Fusion Fall.
World of Warcraft.
I didn't play that one because you had to buy it.
I was so into World of Warcraft, and I was playing. This was before the free trial, like let you keep your character and had a level cap.
Yeah.
Before it was a 10-day free trial,
Oh,
and then your character got erased.
damn.
So I kept on 10 day after 10 day after 10 day, making a character, leveling up like as much as I could as a kid who was in school,
Mm-hmm.
who could not dedicate his life to it. Then every 10 days having their character be deleted. It was a great way to try out all the different like races and factions and horde and alliance and all of that. But it was also awful because sometimes you would get very emotionally attached to the progress you
Then
made
it's
for a
gone.
certain character, and it's gone. And then I had like a renaissance for World of Warcraft when I was in high school, and this was like for a very little bit, and they had changed the trial to be you can only go up to level 20, and then
But
you
it doesn't
can't-
delete it.
It doesn't delete it, so you can keep on enjoying the world.
Yeah.
You just can't progress past level 20. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's a no-brainer for me. So I did that, and then I don't know, I guess because the allure of like not being able to have full World of Warcraft kind of faded, and also I was in high school, I just didn't end up playing it again. But
Yeah.
it did have a very short chokehold on me. And also Pirates Online.
Pirates. I didn't play
Pirates
that
of the
one.
Caribbean.
The commercials made it look cool as fuck.
It was pretty cool. That was my gateway drug into World of Warcraft.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I was playing Club Penguin and I was playing it with one of my friends.
Mhm.
And then I played Pirates Online with that friend.
Uh-huh.
And then from Pirates, he was like, oh, you know what's a really fun game that's kind of similar to this? It's called World of Warcraft.
Mhm.
And I literally remember the day I logged off of Pirates, got World of Warcraft, logged onto it, and I was like, oh my god, this is like, this makes Pirates Online look like dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. Because clearly Pirates Online was trying to be a kid-friendly version of World of Warcraft.
Yeah. You know what? For me, the equivalent of that game was RuneScape. I played so much RuneScape, put so much time into it, and I was absolutely in love with that game. And then I remember I left it for a couple years, and in that time they like deleted people's accounts who were inactive, and they did that to me, and then they just like shut down the whole shit completely. So I lost that. But that was a great game. Toontown was great.
I never played Toontown because I think you had to pay for that.
There was a free, you could play it free up to like you could only be in certain areas and stuff like that.
I also don't think my computer could handle it either.
Mine was choppy. It was pushing it, but that game was cool.
But Disney Channel made, in those commercials, made Toontown look like the coolest thing on planet Earth.
Oh, it was.
I was really lucky that no one in my friend circle like played it at
Yeah.
school, because if that was the case and I couldn't load it on my computer, I would have lost my mind. I probably would have made my parents get a new computer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good one. Pop Tropica, obviously.
Pop Tropica was amazing.
Oh yeah.
The like Greek mythology storyline,
Mhm.
their stories got so good. Like, just like 10 out of 10. The only thing that would have made the game better is like,
If you could actually type what you want to say.
I don't think you could actually like play with other players. Like, they made it seem like other players were there, but the whole time I was questioning, is this a real player or is this
It
an
was.
NPC?
No, it was real because I remember being in the computer lab at school and my friends and I would log on at the same time, and
Okay,
sometimes we
so
get put in
what?
the same world.
But you couldn't like really interact with them.
Because you could only have the pre-made responses. They didn't let
Yeah.
you type what you wanted to.
It would have been cooler if it was more of like a Club Penguin type situation, and it would be even cooler if you could like do like quests together, like those
Yeah,
stories.
because you couldn't do them together. You just had to do your own shit, and then sometimes you'd be in the same room as someone.
But those storylines were
Yeah.
so cool.
The secret
Like,
agent one. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that one. That
The one in Africa.
I remember I was so into that secret agent story, and I like vividly remember my family wanted to go to dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, and I was on the computer playing the secret agent storyline, and I did not want to go until I beat it because I kept
Yeah.
on getting so frustrated. And for me, this is just like a core memory. Like I forever associate the secret agent storyline because it had like the rabbit thing,
Yeah,
like the
okay, yeah,
carrots
yeah.
and the rabbits.
Yes.
I affiliate that with the Cheesecake Factory now because I remember going to the Cheesecake Factory and that's all I could think of in the back of my mind.
and
was
that's
like,
why you got carrots the last time we went to Cheesecake Factory.
so true. I love carrots. I love carrots, and it's because of that storyline. So look at Pop Tropica,
Okay.
encouraging vegetable consumption.
Yeah, Pop Tropica was goated. Sometimes whenever there'd be like a new book or something, they would have a world for that. Like I remember they had a Diary
Yes.
of a Wimpy Kid world. I don't remember if it was with the movie
Oh
or
my
another
God,
book.
Pop Tropica loved Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh,
I felt
yeah.
like there was never a time I logged on and did not see the Diary of a Wimpy Kid thing.
Yeah, I didn't read those books though.
Me either.
Yeah, my mom didn't let me read those.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom could not give a shit,
Oh,
but
okay.
I didn't read those. But I will say, Roderick from the first like Diary of Wimpy Kids movie.
Okay.
Could get it any day of the
Oh my
week.
god, I knew you were gonna say that.
And I will also say Roderick from the reboot Diary of Wimpy Kid movie is my friend since 3rd grade.
Oh, but he can't get it.
Well, I can't say that.
Oh,
That would be weird.
yeah.
But Charlie, if you're watching this, hi. It's true. He is like someone I consider my like first best friend.
Oh,
He was like my first friend when I moved to a new school in the
Yeah.
3rd grade, and so felt really outcast.
Uh-huh.
And I remember we bonded over SpongeBob.
Okay, that's a good thing to bond about. Speaking of which, there was a fighting game on Nickelodeon.com with the SpongeBob characters.
What was it?
I don't remember the name, but I remember SpongeBob had his karate gear and he was like fighting people. It wasn't that good.
I feel like a lot of the games on Nickelodeon I just like never played because like the quality was not there.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like half thought. I don't know. For some reason it did not seem like those games were at the quality of like Disney Channel or Cartoon Network.
Yeah, but they had the best commercials on TV. I did enjoy
I don't know if I would say
No?
that. No, I think I enjoyed Cartoon Network's commercials the most because I think they had the best balance between regular commercials, like advertising stuff to you,
Yeah.
and like in-world bumpers is what they were called,
Mhm.
like where they would actually have things pertaining to the cartoons, but like interacting with each other
Yeah.
in the form of these bumpers in commercial breaks. So I feel like Cartoon Network had the best balance of like in-world stuff during the commercials and then like toy commercials or whatever else.
Yeah.
I feel like Nickelodeon was just a commercial whore. I feel like they took whatever brand wanted to be on there, like no matter how cheap or not it was.
But they had cool shit. I remember they had those moon shoes. Do you
Moon
remember those?
shoes.
Yeah,
Moon
you jumping
shoes.
around.
Da-da,
They made that look
anti-gravity
so
shoes,
cool. Uh-huh.
shoes that defy gravity.
Call now. You can get this in 5 easy payments.
Yes.
Yeah. And they had that sand stuff, like the squishy sand that you
Moon
could
sand.
moon
Or
sand,
was it moon
whatever
sand?
it was.
Maybe I'm calling it moon sand because it was
something
moon
like
shoes.
that. Fushigi. You remember Fushigi?
What'd you call me?
The fucking silver ball that the dude was rolling all over his hand.
Oh, yeah. Nickelodeon had a lot of these gimmicky stuff. I feel like Cartoon Network is a little bit more sophisticated.
Yeah.
And then Disney Channel was like North
It was only
Korea
Disney.
propaganda.
Yeah, that was
Like,
crazy. They literally only had Disney.
It was only Disney and Danimals.
Oh, and you could do the
was, like,
Danimal sweepstakes.
The only other like corporation that made its way to Disney. Otherwise, it was like just Disney propaganda. And you know what? I ate it up.
That's
as a
crazy that
kid.
I didn't even realize that back then, but they did.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky to think about, but also like so genius.
Well, I guess they had the money to do it, so good for them.
Yeah, and like I mean, I feel like nowadays if Disney Channel was still the way it was back then, it would actually feel like regular commercials, the same as Cartoon Network, because Disney has acquired so many other things.
Yeah.
But it would still just be Disney. It would just be like harder
Marvel
to tell.
stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cartoon Network had great channel or commercials, but then Adult Swim, like the way they made those like weird ass commercials and they did it with the characters from the shows, it was almost like Disney in a way where most of the advertisement was actually just Adult Swim.
Yeah, I will say, as a kid, Adult Swim kind of scared me a little bit. Like, I think I only ever watched the very beginning shows of the Adult Swim program, like King of the Hill.
Yeah, Family Guy.
I could tolerate it. Or, I mean, tolerate, like, it didn't seem so mature that I felt wrong watching it.
Yeah.
So King of the Hill was fine. Family Guy, I kind of grew into, because at first, like, I immediately recognized it as like an inappropriate show that would
Yeah.
get me in trouble. But then, like, kind of, because my mom loved watching King of the Hill,
Yeah.
so we would watch that together.
Uh-huh.
And then when Family Guy rolled around, it kind of became a little bit more awkward.
Yeah.
But the more time passed by, the like kind of more we
Yeah.
would watch a Family Guy, and we eventually like started watching it together. And so Family Guy became okay.
Okay.
And then I feel like past Family Guy,
It
I
would be
think
Robot Chicken after that, and that's when it would start to divulge into like the outlandish shit.
yeah, Robot Chicken I think lost me. Also, like for one reason, because I think the jokes literally I did not have the cultural knowledge to even like understand. Because like Robot Chicken was like political and stuff, and like what the fuck do I know in fourth grade? Like it's like talking about like some celebrity that I do not know because they're not on the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Or like something. But growing up and watching some Robot Chicken skits back, like Bitch Pudding,
I don't remember that one.
she was like the strawberry shortcake
Oh,
character,
okay, yeah,
and like super vulgar.
yeah.
I like a lot of Robot Chicken sketches, like in hindsight when I see them. I think
Yeah.
they're really fun. Obviously, I like the ones that have to do with like Bratz and Barbie when they like make them super violent and stop motion. But yeah, I never like watched it as a kid.
I feel like I liked it a lot because my dad would watch a lot of like movies and stuff from like the 80s, and then a lot of the jokes in Robot Chicken were like based off of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of understood it from like just being in the background watching my dad watch shit.
And like that kind of stuff completely went over my head. I had no awareness
Yeah.
of like anything they were talking about.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, Adult Swim was cool. Then on the weekends, before it would go to Adult Swim, it would be Toonami.
Yes, I mean, I don't think I watched as much Toonami as I would have liked,
Yeah.
but I remember like specifically like programs that I liked was like Zatch Bell.
I don't remember that one.
What
was that?
Oh my god. Zatch Bell was such a cool anime. It was like about this like schoolboy guy, like this guy, and he's like a student.
Schoolboy guy.
I Schoolboy Q. It was about Schoolboy Q. This guy was in school. You know, it was like in Japan, so everybody was like wearing private school uniforms. Also, very core memory and
They look
influencing
18,
me.
but they're really like 12.
Yeah, and so there are these. They're kind of like these demons from this other world. That every like 100 years or something or 1,000 years all get sent to Earth, and they all kind of look like children a little bit, like with like kind of like puppet children or like very doll children, but they're kind of like these demons, and they each have like a spell book, which kind of, if the spell book gets destroyed, the demon gets the creature that they are gets destroyed and sent back to their world. And so it's like a huge chunk of years, I don't know exactly the number of years, they all go to Earth to battle each other, and the winner is the next king or ruler of them. And so, but the thing is that they have a spell book with spells that can make them, that's how they can use their powers, but they need a human to read the spell book.
Oh.
And the human can only read the spell book if they develop a bond with the creature.
This is convoluted.
So Zatch Bell is like the main one that we follow, and he meets his person. And so, you know, he's like a really morally correct character. And so sort of with Zatch, because Zatch has like amnesia. So they kind of learn together what's going on in this world. And so a lot of the people that have made these bonds with these demons are like using the powers for evil.
Yeah.
Like they're like using it for corruption. So like Zatch and his person aren't like really trying to play the game. They're just trying to not die so they can get rid of the ones that are hurting other people. And then they kind of get intertwined in this battle for the next ruler. And then like as the series progresses, you kind of uncover more of like what the lore was like in like the realm where they do come from, and like why it's so important to get to become a good ruler.
So it's kind of like the celebrities that were like at the Diddy parties or like Epstein Island, but they weren't like super deep into it. They were like, I'm at the party, but I'm not the one. You know.
Yeah, you know, I think in that context, it's like someone that was at the Diddy party and just like completely blacked out. Like, the second they were there. And then now they're in these trials and they're just realizing what's happening because they had no awareness.
They
So
might have had
I
some of
think
that oil on them.
in your analogy, the Diddy party is like the demon realm,
Yeah.
which kind of checks out.
Uh-huh.
And Zach is like someone that completely blacked out. And so now he's outside of the Diddy party. The Diddy trials are going on. That's like the battle for the ruler. And as he's just kind of like defeating the bad guys, I guess, in the trial, he's also learning about everything that was going on while he was blacked out. So that was a great analogy, Ace.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Well, shit, we've been on this podcast for a while, and we make music. We haven't talked about music at all.
No, we haven't.
We should talk about music. It's 2025. We're like halfway through. Years moving by really fast.
Yes.
But there's been some good records, I'm a full album enjoyer.
Me too.
I'm not really like a playlist person, because I like looking at art as a whole and for what it's worth and what the artist wanted you to feel.
Hard agree.
Yeah.
Ace and
How
I
hard?
both pretty hard.
Okay.
Ace and I also both collect Ace collects vinyls and CDs
and
tapes, and I just collect CDs. But I think that also comes into play with enjoying like full albums, is that aspect of it as well. So yeah, with the albums that have come out in 2025 so far, what are some of your favorites?
So for me, I've been listening to, honestly, the one the most this year has been I Am Music by Playboi Carti, because I remembered he's an artist that I've listened to over the years every time he's put out an album, and I've like found some way to enjoy it. And then I remember he talked about dropping this album, and I was like, this could be cool. Then it came out, and then that weekend I got some passes for Rolling Loud, and I went to see him play the album there. And it was so cool to see live. So it's like 30 songs, and not all of them are great, but overall it's a cool experience. So we got that one, Some Sexy Songs for You by Party Next Door and Drake. That album is really good. I got that vinyl when we were at Target one time.
Okay.
And even though Drake lost the beef with Kendrick Lamar and he got like shitted on, I listen to that album almost every day, and it came out on Valentine's Day. So I think that means it's a pretty good album.
I'm not a Drake fan.
It's okay. I don't blame you, but it's a damn good record. I really like the deluxe version of Mutt by Leon Thomas, if you've heard that. Actually, Jonathan Azu manages Leon Thomas.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, and this, technically the album came out last year, but the deluxe edition just came out last week, 2 weeks ago, and it has like a whole second disc of new songs.
Wow.
And it's really good. And then there's Ambient Works for the Highways of Los Angeles by Elijah Fox, like an ambient piano record. Really cool shit.
And you listen to that?
I listen to it a lot.
Top to bottom?
Oh yeah.
Do you actively listen to it, or do you like let it just be in the background? Do you like memorize the ambience in the songs?
I actually do. There's like
That's
3
crazy.
songs on there that like I keep the melodies in my head all the time, and I love the chord progressions and the bass lines. And Elijah Fox, you are one talented motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then the rest, it's kind of just like, ambient in the background. I just have myself doing other shit, and it keeps the day moving. And actually, the cover of the album is taken outside of Harvard and Stone at the motel across the street on the corner. You know that one?
No, I don't.
It's like when you're leaving Harvard and Stone and you're going,
that's like close to USC, right? Or no?
It's in Hollywood.
Oh,
You've never
okay.
played there?
No, not yet.
Or you haven't been to a show there?
Not yet.
Okay, it's a cool spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played there like 3 times.
Is that where your upcoming show is?
No, upcoming show is at State Social House in West Hollywood.
Okay, we're gonna get there.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the albums I've been liking a lot from 2025. What about you? What have you been liking?
Okay, so I mean, I'll preface this by saying I don't listen to a lot of new music. I really like staying in my little circle of albums that I like, so I don't venture off to new albums unless it's an artist that I like. I don't think I'm as adventurous
Like
as
yourself?
Nope, not even. But I will say Lady Gaga's Mayhem album is amazing. Really great from top to bottom.
For the tops and bottoms.
For the tops and bottoms.
And the sides.
I will say Vanish Into You on that album is just a beautiful song, like a very beautiful song. I don't know how true it is. I choose to believe it's true that she wrote the song about Tony Bennett.
Why? What is the lyrical content?
So I'm not as familiar with Tony Bennett's discography.
Yeah.
But I saw a TikTok, full transparency. I did not do this research myself, but that several lines reference songs of his.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've heard tales.
Yeah.
But you haven't confirmed.
I did not confirm that they were actually like songs of his or lyrics of his, but I think it's a beautiful song and it's very sweet. And the first time I listened to it, I was trying to figure out what the context of it was, because it didn't like strike me so much as like my first thought was that it is a song about her fiance.
Who's her fiance?
I forget his name. He's not an artist.
Oh.
I think he's in like medicine or something.
Oh.
But she's really in love with him. So at first I thought it was a really sweet song about that, but there's like a melancholy to the song. There's like a hint of sadness that did not make it seem like that. And then when I saw the things talking about that it's actually about like Tony Bennett, I was like, this makes a lot more sense. Someone that she like came to really love, and kind of it's like a song looking at the good things but in like a mourning perspective.
Okay.
So that was like a long tangent, but that's like my favorite song on the album. And in general, the album is just so good.
I like Abracadabra. I was at this
Abracadabra
club.
is amazing.
They were playing that at Piranhas in Vegas. It was going up when they were playing that shit. Oh man,
Abracadabra is really amazing. I also really like the message in that one as well, and the music video.
What's the message?
Amazing. In my opinion, the message is about keep looking forward, and don't look back.
Oh, you have a song about that.
Do I?
Waves that come, the waves that go.
That's not really about it.
You guys will know that song soon.
But I feel like a really big aspect of the song is just like keep looking forward no matter how hard it is how hard it is to not look back.
Oh.
So
I thought it was just about
for my cultured
being gay
friends.
in the club.
No. That's what it was about for you. For me,
I wasn't.
Okay. For me, it is a little bit of an Oedipus and Eurydice, if you will. That
Greek
myth.
mythology.
Yeah. Do you know what that's about?
Oh, yeah. I know all about Rick Riordan.
He like tries to get his love from hell, and he's like, you just can't look back at her. Like, yeah, you just have to
look back at it.
Keep moving forward. And if you turn back to her, she stays in hell. But if you don't turn back, then she can come back to you in life. Yeah. So it's like one of the morals of the story could be taken of like, don't look back, keep moving forward.
Why did he look back?
Because
why didn't he just keep looking for? If it was that simple,
it was too hard.
She was that bad.
She was that bad.
He just had to get a.
Anyways,
I'm sorry. Yeah, your favorite record,
Mayhem. Then actually a really recent one. I literally listened to it for the first time yesterday.
Oh.
Is
already made the list.
Princess of Power by Marina, formerly known as Marina and the Diamonds. Now, I met Marina recently.
Oh, shit.
Humble brag.
Where?
At the Roxy.
Oh, you did?
For Suki Waterhouse.
Oh.
Marina is very influential to me, especially in my creativity, and has had a big impact on me for since I was like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, with the Diamonds.
Yes, with the Diamonds. I was and am a Diamond. And I listened to this album for the first time yesterday. And it came out last Friday. So like kind of almost a week ago. So I was a little bit late to it. But oh my God, it is so good. Like I have been playing it on repeat. And I will also say, not trying to be a poser or anything, I was not sure how I was going to like this album from the singles that she released. I was not 100% vibing to the singles. Listening to the album, I think all of my favorite songs are album cut songs.
Yeah,
Like they are the songs that released with the album. They are not the lead singles. However, listening to everything in the context of the album, it is so Marina. It is so unapologetically Marina, and like the Marina that I fell in love with
Yeah.
from Electra Heart and what's it called? The Family Jewels and Electra Heart. It is so, she is so herself, but it is also like so refined. It is like such a great album. I will probably listen to it on the way home from here.
Oh wow. Okay. She's
So-
doing the Greek in the Fox Theater.
It just got released. Yeah, that she is doing that. I have not gotten tickets to that.
Better hurry.
I saw her last tour at the YouTube Theater.
Oh.
She was great. She sounds amazing live, and now I can say, meeting her casually face to face, she's such a sweet person. And yeah, I kind of regret not pre-ordering the signed CD, because you know artists do that now. Like,
Go to the Greek or the Fox show. Get a vinyl or a CD.
but it probably won't be signed. Unless I have connections. Unless I have connections to get it signed.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Do you think she was at the Diddy parties?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Did you hear otherwise?
I don't know. I don't even know her.
She only moved here from London, like
Oh,
during
she's
the
from London?
pandemic. Yeah.
I always get Marina and the Diamonds and the Marias confused.
No, Marina is from London, and she moved here permanently, like around 2020.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I'm gonna take that to be her alibi. Hopefully,
You think she was on that island?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say that after praising her album. So
Well, she's been on a island at least.
yeah, she's an island.
An
Yeah,
island.
she's also Greek.
Oh, she is.
So Greek is an island, right?
Greece. Greek is an island.
Greece is coastal.
Yeah.
Is it like a peninsula?
I don't like Greek food. Greek food is so bland.
Can I talk about the rest of my albums?
I'm sorry.
Please?
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, editor, Princess of Power, and then I don't know if this counts. I'm gonna count it, but 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance.
That counts.
They just released, same release day as Marina, Princess of Power. They released the deluxe edition, or not deluxe, the remix or remaster, whatever you want to call it, the redone version of 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. And I do think it counts as a 2025 album because of how different every song sounds on this newly released version.
Yeah.
It is crazy. I saw someone say online, and I could not agree with this more. It sounds like the sonic equivalent of breathing on your glasses and wiping it and seeing things clearer. It sounds like they did that sonically.
Yeah.
Everything is so much clearer. You can hear, like, I feel like, and like the first version of the album is great. It is perfect for what it needs to be. But I do think it is such a travesty that so many parts were just buried in those songs. So like many layers
Yeah.
and like little intricacies that just did not get their moment to shine. Like, I never realized in that first album how many like beautiful harmonies that they do. I honestly, in my head, I was like, the harmonies didn't really start getting complex in there until the Black Parade in my head. But hearing this album, I'm like, wow, like there are harmonies everywhere. There are vocal stacks everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's just vocals. That's what I listen to as a vocalist. But like guitar, bass, drums, everything sounds so crisp and clear. So it basically it sounds like a new album.
I have to listen to it. I still haven't listened, but that is my favorite record of theirs. So I feel like I would enjoy that a lot. And I feel like the original album, it is very like muddy in a way. Like the vocals are clear, but I feel like all the instruments, there's a lot of points where it gets really loud and kind of scratchy, and it just sounds like there's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that it's better, because I don't think that it's better, but I do think it's like seeing a movie that you love, and then when you get the DVD and it has the bonus content, and you like eat it up because you love the movie that much and you just love seeing everything that went into behind the scenes. I feel like this version is almost like the behind the scenes version of what the original one is, with how much you can just hear. It literally is behind the scenes.
How do you compare this record then to their the Living with Ghosts Black Parade Deluxe? Like the Living with Ghosts record, the one it was like the white cover with like that kind of cross on the front.
But
they
what's the
added
similarity?
like as like another record
that's
that
not
kinda,
a remix record.
Well, it had a bunch of demos, so I guess.
But
that's
the demos
different.
are demos.
Yeah, okay.
Like they didn't like.
But that's kind of like a behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're different enough that there's not like a lot of overlap. I think the demos are really cool. Like, I can't remember the name of the one that's like the first draft of the Black Parade.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I love their demos as well. I wish they would like either redo them or like find more finished recordings of the demo and like release that stuff, or even if they could release another record that's just demos. And if they're just cleaned up enough, I would eat it up.
Demo of Every Snowflake's Different.
Well, Every Snowflake's Different is kind of a demo for, I think, what's that song on Danger Days? It's not Scarecrow.
I think I know what you're talking
about. Never mind the state I'm in.
Oh, oh my God! Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Summertime? No, it's not.
Summertime.
Is it? That's the one.
Everywhere where the sunlight.
No, that's Scarecrow.
No, that's Scarecrow.
It might be Scarecrow.
It might be Scarecrow. But it basically is like a first draft of that.
You think so?
Yes, they borrow vocal melodies.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. They're actually the Yo Gabba Gabba
we met that
Spotify
guy.
page, but they did release a remixed album including that. So there's another recently released version of that song that's mixed a little bit better.
That's fire.
So yeah, even that song got a little facelift. But yeah, I mean, I think compared to Living with Ghosts, it isn't like, if you're just looking at the demo tracks from that, obviously this one like blows them out of the water, because these were already finished tracks that have just been even more finished and polished. But a lot of people also might say that the polish ruins it or takes away from it. Like, a lot of people like the grit, and I agree, because I like the grit too. But I mean, they're all just such amazing musicians in it, that the fact that all of their playing is just that much clearer and that much more, you're able to enjoy it all more. And you could listen to each of the songs 5 times and listen to each of the instruments, just focus on one instrument to listen to. And like, it's great. That's also a song that's just been on, or an album that's been on replay for me. I only stopped replaying it actually to do Marina's Princess of Power, and now that's been on replay. So that's kind of how I listen to music, is I just like find an album that I like, and it'll just be the album that I keep listening to. So I move through albums very slowly. And then also in that same progression, I just don't listen to a lot of new albums either, unless it's from groups that I like.
Or old stuff.
Or super old stuff. I'm kind of just stuck in a very niche time.
Because you don't listen to anything from before you were born. I've noticed.
Right. And we're not going to say when that is. But yeah, I kind of just, stay in the time frame that I want to stay in. And you know what? That's completely fine because I'm not a music historian. I'm just a music enjoyer.
It's not fine, but it's okay.
It is fine. It is fine. Do you wear wigs?
No.
You should, because you're bald already. So
I'm not bald. Okay, I have hair.
Okay.
I have hair under here. I just like wearing hats.
Okay, now let's talk about us, our music. What
The
music
whole
we
reason
have
we're
going
here,
on.
right?
We're gonna cut that out. We cannot say that.
Why?
You're a naughty little boy.
What the hell?
Okay, so us, the August drama.
Andrew Rudy.
Don't do that. I don't like that, Ace.
Okay.
That's a bad image.
I'm sorry.
Bad image for me.
Okay. Yeah.
It's painting me in a negative light. This is defamation.
Well, better than defecation. Unless you're into that.
I'm happy to just, if it's just me, I'll just take your writing credit.
Oh,
It's just me, right? It's just Andrew Rudy.
Okay, let's calm
It's
down.
just
Okay.
Andrew Rudy.
It's a group. It's collective.
Oh, it's a collective now.
It's a group of minds.
I see.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Where are we at?
Just video
Defecation.
evidence of me threatening my bandmates.
They're gonna use this in the Hulu docu-series about your downfall one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll submit the footage. Okay, so the August drama, we are working currently on just a bunch of songs for the upcoming album. And I'm hoping one of them will be released soon. It is something that I don't prefer to do. I like to finish the entire album and then release the songs, but it has already been so long since my last release as Andrew Rudy that I am just so eager to get this era started. It is a very aquatic themed era. I guess I'll just soft launch the title. It's going to be called A New Atlantis. And it's a big concept album. And I've had this plan for a while, but I actually am recently kind of thinking about ways to tweak the story a little bit, primarily with visuals, in more ways than I think you're even aware of. Like I'm thinking it's like even music videos. I kind of want to do a different creative take on them.
Oh,
Should I talk about it here? Should I say it?
not yet.
Not yet.
Let's save that.
Okay. But yeah, it's gonna be a really, really cool concept album, and we are kind of like halfway through it in the creative process. We're like halfway through the writing of it, and then we are less than halfway through the like final recording of it. But we have a couple songs that are getting close to being release ready, and one of them already is release ready. So I think that's actually going to be happening soon because I think a lot of these songs could benefit from a summer release.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about that, and hopefully there will be music videos and stuff as well. So that's on the August drama end of things.
And there was a song.
We do have a song that's out already as the August drama. I guess it's the first official release from the August drama. We wrote it. It was really cool. We wrote it for a video game.
In this room?
In a room in this facility. I don't know if we actually wrote it here.
Maybe a couple of doors down.
Yeah, but it's called You Said You Like My Eyes, and we wrote it for this video game called Duo Q, which is a really cool, it's like a dating simulator that uses AI that plays like a first-person shooter co-op game. And
it's a really cool game.
It's very cool. Yeah. We saw it was being kind of like launched at the USC Video Game Expo, and they wanted a song for the credits, like a pop punk song for the credits. And one of my friends knew the people working on the game, and she referred me, and that's how the August drama got to write on it. And it was a pretty rushed job. I had basically, since getting the opportunity, I had like 2 weeks to get the song done, and then an additional week to get the song like mastered and finished. So it was like 3 weeks to actually hand in the song to them for it to be released with the soundtrack.
Well, luckily, there were good people working on the track.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So Ace played guitar on it, which was amazing. Josh Moroner played bass on it. And then James Sinigaliano programmed the drums for it. And yeah, it
And
just...
the master.
Oh,
The
yes.
mastering
Oh, my
work,
God.
yes.
It was mastered by Willow Edge at the bakery. And the coolest thing is that literally everybody who worked on it are my friends.
And
the August Drama.
and what else links everybody on the track?
What else links everybody
Yeah,
on the
what else
track?
do all these people have in common?
Oh yeah, everybody went to USC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Fight
just
On.
really cool. Fight On. Just a bunch of friends and collaborators, which is like my favorite part about making all this music and stuff. And because of the process, was able to make even more friends and more collaborators through this process. And the coolest part, I think, of the whole thing is that we played the first full band August Drama show as just the August Drama. We played a show that same week that the Video Games Expo was on, and like two of the people from the video game team from Duo Q came to the show, and we played You Said You Like My Eyes at the show. You'll probably actually be seeing, there's probably footage from the show already uploaded by the time this episode comes out, so you could see literally songs from that show. Probably You Said You Like My Eyes is already up as well.
You know, I feel like that song is our equivalent to Every Snowflake's Different.
Do you? Because
Yeah.
I don't.
That's what it
'cause-
feels like, to like in context.
But
of
it's
the-
not like we didn't make it for like kids. Like it's not a kid song.
Well, it's not a kitty kid song, but in comparing it to the rest of the stuff we're working on
for
the
me,
record.
I can see why you say that, because for me, the way I write lyrics, I don't really like love songs or like lovey-dovey songs. The not super authentic part about it was that, you know, it was a song written for a dating simulator, and they asked for it to be that the subject to be like about kind of like meeting someone that you like, because that's the whole point of the game, is dating. And so that subject is not one that I would kind of just write about on my own.
Yeah, that was a cool song. I forget how it goes already.
Wow, 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 wow.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, that was song I
I
remember.
was walking.
Yeah, for me, I kept thinking of like Billy Idol when I was like composing the guitar parts. I was thinking of like a Billy Idol song or like a Generation X, something like 80s kind of like pop rock. And then mixed in a little like MCR, just a little bit.
Yeah, well, okay, so I remember.
You got mad because me and Josh kept bringing up songs that we thought it reminded us of.
Well, okay, first of all, I do hate that. I feel like that really does deflate the creative process. Secondly, I came up with like a lyrics and melody, and it was just so
Oh.
the structure and the syncopation was so hard for Ace and Josh to write to, because it was just so goofy, because I was trying to go for the what's it called, the My Chem song that's like, well, now I'm back to the middle of the
Oh, you didn't say that though. I didn't know that's what you were trying to do.
So I was trying to go for this like but it was not happening, and I really at first I really wanted it to have that syncopation, but it was just not happening in the writing process. So I was like, you know what? Let's just start from nothing. You and Josh, let's like build a part with guitar and bass, and then I will see how I can salvage and rework like the lyrics that I had wrote to fit into the new structure, and I'm glad we did it that way,
I think it came out better.
if we had just tried to make the original thing that I came up with work, it would have been, I feel like, a lot of effort for very little payoff. I feel like it would not have been that good.
I mean, I think the idea that we were able to come up with afterwards was better, but I think what you're talking about, now that you say that's what you had in mind, I didn't know that. It was hard for me to pick up on what you were trying
but
to,
I
like,
will say,
translate.
creatives, like, if you are like, picture this, I'm in the room. This is the one session we have to write and record an original song. And all these people are saying are how every one person plays 4 notes in a chord progression, and the other person's like, oh, that sounds like this. And the other person plays 4 notes in a chord progression. It's like, oh, this sounds like this. It's like going on a road trip and taking only stop sign streets. Like
Okay.
the whole way to San Francisco, you're like, we are taking a route with a stop sign at the end of every block. That is what it's like. And it's
Okay.
like, boys, we don't even have the studio for 8 hours. we cannot be moving at this rate.
Okay, fair enough. It was nice. It was a fun experience.
Yes.
It was cool writing the song.
I'm glad it was fun for you.
Yes, it was like, I had loads and loads of fun. I thought the
For
parts
me,
came
I
out very
was
cool.
just like shitting bricks because I'm like, at this point, I've already said yes to these people. If I don't have a song to give to them, I am shooting the August Drama's foot before they can take their first step.
Animals Over People has a show coming up. I'm not sure when this video will come out, but on July 25th, 2025, another show in the Cyber World Tour will be going on at State Social House right down the street from the Roxy. Andrew will be doing some
Special guest
appearance activities.
We have a song together called Mrs. Stockholm
that we do.
I'll definitely be on that. Ace also sings it during the August Drama stuff, so that's like our crossover.
Yeah.
Jimmy Timmy Power Hour.
Yes, yeah.
And then we also found like some songs off of Cyberworld that I could do some backing vocals on. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun every time Ace asks me to be a part of the Animals Over People show. So
The experience, the Animals Over People experience.
the Animals Over People experience, because it definitely is an experience.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this and you are in the Los Angeles area, then like come down and say hi, because I know we would both love to see you.
That's right. Yes, we
And where can they get tickets if they're watching this and
would.
they want it?
If you go to Instagram and you look up Animals Over People __, you'll see the page for my group pop up. Just hit me up. Be like, hey, yo, can I get a ticket to that? And I'll hit you up with the link.
Very nice.
Yeah. Recently, there's been a lot of movies that are like buzzing around in pop culture. And we saw one of them together. We saw another one separately.
Yes, I will say I have joined the bandwagon for the AMC A-List rewards. This video is not sponsored by AMC, but we would gladly be sponsored by AMC if they wanted to. I will say it is a great bang for your buck if you see just 2 movies a month. It pays for itself. It's also like a great way to like, get out of the house and stuff. So I've been watching a lot of movies and I've been enjoying watching new movies. And one movie that has really just piqued my interest, and I've seen it 3 times at this point, is Sinners.
Yeah. Okay. And we saw it together. That was my first time seeing it.
And that was my 3rd time seeing it.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I feel like that is just kind of the perfect movie for both of us. But okay,
No, I didn't
say
even say anything.
that's the perfect movie for me. I feel like that movie was made for me.
I just smiled.
And I hate it when you smile.
Oh my gosh.
I will say that I feel like the Sinners, the movie, is like the perfect movie for me because it's a vampire movie. That's the first box that it checks. Love it. It has music at the center of it, which huge check. It's so cool. It is just like such a cool take on the vampire genre. It mixes like the classic vampire mythology aspect with like the formula of like the final girl kind of scary movies, you know, like the survive the night, final girl, final boy thing.
Is that what it's called? Final girl movies? That's the name of the genre?
Well, it has become a genre where it is like this like survive the night, and usually there's a final girl at the end of it. In the case of Sinners, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, it's a final boy.
Is it?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Oh no, girls survive. Yeah.
Yeah, but usually it's like referred to as the final girl movie. But I feel like it combines everything that you love from vampire movies with the kind of suspense of your like classic survive the night kind of movie, and then it like interweaves it perfectly with like this very real historical period. I mean, obviously this is like historical fiction because of vampires, but the historical accuracy of the time era that it represents is a really cool touch to it. It has really small details just woven throughout the film, and I feel like the pacing is just so well done because it doesn't hit you over the head with the vampire stuff until like pretty far into the movie.
Yeah.
Like if you went into the movie blind, by the time the word vampire gets mentioned, you would probably get whiplash because you probably thought you were watching a completely different movie.
Because it doesn't feel like a vampire movie. Even at like by the end of it, it still doesn't really feel like a vampire movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I remember when I saw the trailer for the movie, I was like confused on exactly what it was about, but I just thought it was about music and like history.
When I saw the trailer for the movie, I was like, I was 100% interested because I was like, oh, this is like demonic. Like there's a demon in it, obviously. Like I thought it was, you know, one of those movies with like possession.
Yeah.
Like
I thought it looked dumb. To be honest, off the original trailers, I was like, this looks really stupid. Especially with the 2 Michael B. Jordans. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I was sold from the first time I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize until I was sat in the theater for the first time that it was a vampire movie.
Yeah.
I thought I knew it had some demonic shit in there because the trailers had
the name.
The like red eyes and like he was like hitting his head on the door, and I was like, okay, this is like possession, like your classic like possession movie. And it looked cool, and I was like all for it. And then I saw the movie, and then I was like, as I was watching it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is less demons and more vampire adjacent. And then they flat out say the word vampire, and I'm like, okay, so this is a vampire movie. This is like straight up garlic, silver bullets, stake to the heart rules as a vampire movie.
But with a unique way to get there.
And that sold me. And the fact that music was the trigger for it, that was amazing.
That was cool. You know, I thought it was gonna be a movie about like selling your soul and music or something. I thought it was like that kind of thing.
Kind of was.
A little bit.
It made references.
Yeah, it did. And speaking of all that, I thought the coolest scene in the movie was that whole thing where it was like celebrating like the history of like black music and stuff. Yeah, I thought that was a cool scene.
Because that scene, I really felt like accurately portrayed what it is like to fully be immersed and enjoy music. Is just like when they were talking about like certain people have the gift to like break the walls of space and time with song, and you know it can be enjoyed by, you know, past, present, future. I really do believe that, because, you know, contrary to popular belief, when I do hear an artist who is long past, you know, and you enjoy them presently, that is what's happening.
Oh yeah.
Like they are impacting people sometimes for the first time years and years and years after their death.
Also, while we're here, going off of that, we got to say rest in peace to two musicians. Got to say rest in peace to Sly Stone from Sly and the Family Stone. I'm sure there's songs that you've heard by them for sure because they're like in so many movies. And also Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. Yeah. So rest in peace.
They passed recently.
Yeah. Brian Wilson passed today. Sly Stone was maybe like 3 days ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, rest in peace. I really do feel like that scene did really capture the reason why, if you stop and look around, if you're in a coffee shop listening to this right now, stop and look around, and the likelihood of you seeing someone wearing a shirt or a pin or anything that's related to music is like 9 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere you go, like there's a reason why music is at the center of the way so many people live their lives. And I think that scene really, really depicted it. It is this like thing that transcends space and time, that can be enjoyed by everyone, that can be religious, that can be not religious, that, you know, it's just such a strong energy. So I thought that scene was beautiful. Also, after the movie, just like me researching and being fed content on behind the scenes, knowing how limited time they had to film that movie, and the fact that that scene with the burnt down like shed was filmed practically that all that fire was there is crazy. Like they had the scene with the juke joint there, and they had the scene with the juke joint not there, and they removed that entire set.
That's crazy.
To film it just see through.
Yeah.
Like the movie that Sinner, I keep on wanting to say The Sinners. The movie Sinners is such a work of art. And I was talking, one of my friends recently kind of got me into collecting physical movies, even though I was kind of already doing it, but she got really, really into it. And so now I'm really into it. And we were both talking about how like we like shopping secondhand for DVDs and stuff, but movies like Sinners is a movie that I want to buy at full retail price because I want my dollars to show that is a well-received movie. I don't want to get that movie at a thrift store. I want to get that movie when I'm probably being charged too much for it because I care about it that much. I really want my dollars to speak for the support, and I want it to go to the director and everyone involved with that. I think it's important to show just how, I mean, the movie's already beating like so many records.
But still, it deserves it.
But it deserves it even more. And I look forward to getting like whatever, the Steelbook, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever highest version I can get.
I was like going into it. I mean, by the time we saw it, it had been maybe 2 weeks after it came out, maybe 3.
Yeah,
so I had already heard all the rave about it. Everybody freaking out, being like, "Oh my God, this movie is so good." But sitting down and watching it, I did really like, I felt connected to the main character because he's a guitar player. And I was like, you know what? I feel like that's what I do best is play guitar. And then seeing him be old too and still holding on to that, I resonated with that. I thought it was like a very interesting like take on also like racism and being black, and it wasn't in like a cringe way like Key and Peele films like Us and
there's vampires in the movie, but it kind of takes a back seat to everything else.
The vampirism is in the back the whole time.
Yeah, like the vampire thing is kind of just like it plays like second fiddle to like the real antagonist of the story, which is like racism and the Jim Crow era of the South. Which I think is also just really cool about the movie, that you can have something as like batshit crazy as vampires and still the thing that has more impact is the racism.
They did an excellent job on that. Also, the music throughout the film was really great.
Amazing.
Ludwig Göransson, I know he was the one behind all that.
I have no clue what string instrument. Well, first of all, like, and this is like not something that the movie does that other movies don't, but on my third watch, I was really able to hear the themes that they gave characters in the score, and that was really enjoyable. Like Anne, the mother of the child that she lost,
the one that like fucked everything up,
had her own
score.
Come in,
motherfuckers!
She had her own score when she was introduced. When she came back, every time when a scene was on her, she had her own melody, and it was a completely different instrumentation.
I didn't even notice that.
It was like strings. They played these same chords, a chord progression on like strings for her, and then Sammy had this like, I don't know what instrument it was or like what programming they used on it. Kind of sounded like a banjo. It was like dum, 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 dum. And he had his own sonic signature. That's like the best way I can describe it. Everyone had like their own little sound thing going on, and it was so fun just to listen to that in the score, because like you're also hearing these motifs play with the respective soundtrack they're weaved into. Not something new that the movie does, but I will say the sounds that they choose are like, they really stay in your head.
Yeah, that's great. Shout out to Ludwig on that shit. He's been killing the game.
Is he a Trojan?
He is a Trojan.
He's a Trojan,
and he's been killing the game. I know he started off. I started seeing his name in like the early 2010s because he was like working on music with Childish Gambino. But then I've noticed in the last decade he's been on like a lot of big movies, like on the soundtrack. So
and
that's awesome.
Good for him. He clearly has a talent for it. And like, this is a movie that like if you worked on it, like, I feel like this is a movie that really will stand the test of time.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I feel like working on the soundtrack to this movie will become as like cool of a bragging right as being like, I worked on the Titanic soundtrack. I feel like it will be that big of a deal. So good for him, because he really made an impact. And I also will say, on my third watch of the movie, never have I experienced a time where I get more emotional watching a movie. You'd think you would be more numb to it the third time. This third time I watched it with you was the only time tears actually left my tear ducts.
Because you saw it with a black person.
The first and I'm an empath, so I really felt the way. I really resonated.
Oh my God, what is this new feeling? The visions.
The first two times I watched it, definitely there were tender moments in the movie, really beautifully done.
Like that
and I
sex
felt
scene?
it. No. I felt it. I felt the tears swell up, but nothing happened. And the third time I watched it, I cried.
During what scene?
I want to keep it as spoiler free as possible, but any time in the movie that someone sacrificed themselves, I was like, I was really moved. Okay. Every time someone sacrificed themselves, and I don't know if it's because I was really understanding what that meant the third time, community wise, when these people were choosing to die so someone else can live. I don't know if it's that I understood it more the third time, or if I don't know what it was. I'll also just say the acting was phenomenal.
It was.
There wasn't a single person in there that like took me out with bad acting, which happens.
Also I will say, with you getting emotional about when people sacrifice themselves, I think a great thing the movie did was that they like established the characters well enough so you could get a connection to them, and they didn't overstay their welcome. And they didn't do too much, and it was like you got enough from them to where like you felt sad when they died.
So the movie does such a good job at really bonding you with these characters that when certain characters get turned into vampires, you kind of find yourself, a little piece of yourself, wanting them to win, because you still like the character so much. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing writing. I think that's amazing acting. I think they all killed it.
I wouldn't have been mad if they did all become vampires.
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of the like the morals of the movie would have gotten lost there a little bit.
Because
it is like a white man controlling black people with
But
his like
also,
hive mind.
Was he even really in control though?
Yes.
I mean, I guess he was to an extent, but it didn't seem like he was like, because
There was a hive mind going on, and he was at the top of it. But I do think that there was a moment in the film where certain characters were able to break free
yeah.
of the hive mind because of an emotional moment they had.
You know something crazy? Also, I'm just thinking about the couple that were like in the KKK when they turned into vampires. That shit like just went out of them because they were like, you know, hanging out with all the black vampires, and they were chill about it. They weren't being like,
Well, were they chill or were they being controlled by Remick?
oh, so you think he made them chill? He was all like, chill out off the KKK shit. We're all vampires now. Okay, that could have been it.
They really leaned into the whole like hive mind and the whole when I turn you into a vampire, I absorb your memories.
Yeah.
And I can say anything I've learned from you, but I can also make you do anything you learned from me, because they didn't know those Irish jigs.
Yeah.
He was making them sing like puppets.
Oh, when they were all dancing together and shit.
Yeah, when everybody, but specifically the three of them.
Oh yeah.
He was controlling the husband and the wife because they were
Oh.
also singing with Irish accents,
Okay.
and they were not Irish.
Yeah.
Like the lady was like, "Will you go, lassie, go?" And like earlier in the movie, she was like, "What the hell you doing at my porch?"
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then like 10 minutes later, she's like, "In the Highlands,
I didn't even
go."
notice
It's like, yeah, the bitch is singing in an Irish accent.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Editor put auto-tune over over those vocals.
Well, yeah, Sinners was great, but I think we have to touch on another big movie that came out right before that.
I think so. Here's the thing.
Okay.
You're talking about Minecraft.
Yes.
Your initial response to the movie, I don't think is the way you currently feel about the movie.
About Minecraft?
You had a very negative reaction to it, which I understand because
Okay, wait,
I'll
first,
just-
do you like it or you don't?
no, I did not like the movie.
Okay.
I liked aspects of it,
Yeah.
but I do not like it. Let's just say I would never add it to my physical movie collection. I would never rewatch it unless it was specifically to go with you
Oh,
like, for the
isn't
first
that
time,
sweet?
and I get the ticket for free.
Oh, okay.
I did not like it. I think, and you told me you didn't like it, but I think you liked it.
I didn't like it because it was so stupid, but I was like a little tipsy during the movie, so that I was like laughing the whole time because
Okay.
I was like, oh my god, this is so stupid. But also because the memes afterwards, that's why I like keep referencing the movie, because the dumbass Steve's Lava Chicken, it's like just always in my head. You know, for a little bit, my Slack profile picture was Jack Black in the movie, but other than that, it was a dumb movie. The pacing was awful. I felt like I would blink and so much shit would
The
happen.
pacing was terrible.
Yeah.
So much of the movie didn't make sense. Like, how old was the older
Oh,
sister?
yeah.
She looked like she was maybe a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
And she is here buying a home, purchasing a home.
Driving around,
Driving
being the
around.
breadwinner.
She's doing social media for a company, but for some reason she has to report to the factory to do her, like, what you think is a remote social media position. Like, this is perfect. She doesn't have to go and work and be separated from her younger brother. No,
It's
bitch
on site.
she has to do her press conferences in the factory.
Yeah.
Because this is Minecraft, and apparently we have it's like Disney Channel logic.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know any other way to describe it. It's like they really think the audience like does not know what these jobs are like in real life, so they could be like, this is how it is. Like, you can be the business owner of a failing arcade.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It was really weird how Jason Momoa is like so attached to this like really young kid. Like, I know they didn't mean anything by it,
It's
but it was such a
weird.
weird relationship.
It is weird, and that's like a trope that like I thought left like
Yeah.
movies, because I think that used to be
It
a
used to be a
common
thing. Yeah.
And that's weird. The time era that this takes
It was-
place is also
what year
weird.
was it?
Because it's like certain elements seemed really modern, but then like certain like one of the teachers had like a super old flip phone in one of the scenes.
But the
and
principal's Jeep Grand Cherokee looked a little newer.
the Cherokee looked new, and then the arcade looked like it was from the 80s, but then Jason Momoa was like the champion in like
like the late 80s.
the late 80s.
And so obviously it was past his prime, but it still looked like
So
it was
it's
before.
like 10 years or whatever,
Yeah.
5 years minimum after his like win in the late 80s, but it still looks like it's the late 80s. It doesn't look like he's stuck in the 80s.
No.
It looks like it is the 80s.
Yeah, it all checks out.
And yeah, it's just like so many things just didn't make sense and just felt like it was like, well, kids won't care.
Yeah.
Like, let's just do it. Kids won't care.
Also, the antagonist being angry because her dad wouldn't let her be like in the talent show, and
Like the fact that she has no, like, she was a movie created character.
yeah,
Like I feel like
wasn't an Enderman
Minecraft
or
has so
something.
much lore that you don't need to make an antagonist who's bitter that she lost like the Netherrealm's Got Talent.
it could have been Herobrine or something, but I don't know. It was stupid. Definitely, in terms of video game movies, it was nowhere near the greatness of the Mario movie,
Or the Sonic movie.
which I did not see. But you know what, Minecraft, you get a solid 2 out of 10.
I will say what gets a 10 out of 10 is the subplot with Jennifer Coolidge
In the Villager.
and the Villager.
Oh.
That is the only redeeming aspect of the movie.
Yeah,
Um,
that was pretty funny.
I'm glad they gave it a full circle sort of like consolation, but yeah, I mean, I guess the moral of the story is like Jennifer Coolidge really can save your film.
I don't know if she saved it because also it was an end credit, so I feel like a lot of people didn't even see it.
But even with the shit that was going on during the story, whenever that their date came back on the screen, I was like, oh, okay, thank God.
Yeah.
It was like a break from the stupidity, like the
Okay.
overstimulation. I was
Yeah.
like, thank God I can just focus on this thing that's actually funny.
Yeah. Also, there's the whole chicken jockey thing that I'm still confused how that became
was
such a
so
meme.
stupid because people were going so crazy over that because of the internet meme, and it was like 0.5 seconds in the movie, and it literally, its significance was just being stupid,
Yeah.
kind of like you.
Oh, that's what we're doing now, huh?
Hold on a second. Sorry,
Oh my
pause.
gosh, such a hater. Everyone, in case you haven't been able to tell by now, which he's been trying to be tame with it, but Andrew Rudy is a professional hater. All he does is hate on other people and prey on your downfall.
Editor, take it out.
He's
Editor,
he's
take
like
it
a
out.
real Redditor.
Take it out,
actually.
editor. Take it out.
You know, you might have been the person on Reddit who told me that they didn't like my tattoo. Yeah. I'm gonna find you.
r/tattoo.
No, it was r/Fallout. Because I got a Fallout tattoo.
Oh, you posted it there.
Yeah.
And what did they say?
Most people were like, they were like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then there was one person who was all like, I love Fallout, but nah. And then there was somebody
I
else.
always feel like the people that post their tattoos on those subreddits are like 18.
You think so?
Like, hey guys, look at look at this tattoo I
No,
got.
it wasn't like
Look,
that.
I got the guy from the
No,
cover.
I was-
It's Fallout Man.
No,
Because like every time someone
such
on
a
the My
hater.
Chemical
Look right here.
every time someone on the My Chemical Romance subreddit posts their little My Chemical Romance tattoo, I'm like, okay, you have just joined 10,000 people that have this tattoo.
Okay, well, I don't think 10,000 people have
So
the
in my
tattoo that I
hand,
got.
It's like, hey guys, look, I got the Danger Day spider. Isn't
No,
that so
it's-
cool? And then everyone commenting is like, wow, I am that same one. I have the same spider from the cover.
I'll have you know that this is a cool fucking tattoo.
It is
And
cool.
not that many people have it, I'm sure.
I'm just, that is
Mm-hmm.
like what I see in my mind when someone shares their tattoo
Oh.
on like a Reddit where it's like, okay, Like most of the people on this Reddit probably have that tattoo. Like,
Well, in
every
this case,
snowflake is not different.
in
just
this
like
case,
you.
I was like, it's a unique one.
Every snowflake. What's
And
unique about it?
that I don't-
He's the exact way he looks on the cover.
Well, yes, but I
you
don't
didn't
think,
give him an alternate colors.
No.
You didn't make him do anything
No,
else.
that's I didn't want that.
What is unique about it?
that I feel like most people do not have that tattoo. I've
Really?
never met anyone else.
You
who
don't think
There
people
was one-
have
no,
the
they-
icon of Fallout?
No, there are, because there was one guy who said he has the same tattoo on his other arm.
So you think it's the tattoo and the placement?
No, I just think it's in general. I haven't seen someone with that tattoo. And then there was one person that was like, what the fuck is on his lip? And I was like, what are you talking about? So I zoomed in really, really close on it, and I looked, and then if anything, it was just like there was like some oil or like the tattoo
his
bomb.
lip, not your lip.
No, not on mine. On the
Oh.
on the tattoo's lip.
Like a mole,
No, it was
a
not.
freckle.
It wasn't my lip, but it was something that it was like you had to zoom in so much to see, and I was like, why the fuck are you like putting that much detail? Like, why are you zooming in that close on it, and why are you being a hater? Like, there was nothing wrong.
That
with
was me.
it. That probably
was-
was you, yeah. And the worst part was that one got the most upvotes of the
Oh
comments.
no, he got good karma. On
Yeah, he got
on Reddit.
good karma, and then I was like, okay, whatever. So I just replied, and I just like said something stupid, and that also got likes. It
You
didn't
know
get
what?
ratioed,
Reddit is
but-
full of haters. I still am not over my last negative Reddit interaction,
What happened?
which was on the Marina subreddit. I'm
Okay.
sorry, y'all are despicable on there.
What happened?
She released a song called Cantissimo,
Mm-hmm.
Cuntissimo,
Okay.
and I was posting something positive
Mm-hmm.
where I said, "Oh, this feels like this is the evolution of Electra Heart from specifically from How to Be a Heartbreaker."
Mm-hmm.
Because in the music video, so Electra Heart is an alter ego that Marina says died because she's sick of people trying to say, bring back Electra. She's like, no, Electra's dead.
Mhm.
She died at the end of the album. She has bleach blonde hair and a heart beauty mark on her cheek.
Mm-hmm.
For the Cantissimo music video, Marina has bleach blonde hair and she put a star on her cheek. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, this seems like it's a reference at the very least to Electra Heart.
Yeah.
Marina has a song on the album Electra Heart that's called How to Be a Heartbreaker, and it's like rule number 1 is that you gotta have fun, rule number 2 blah blah blah. So it's like it's the gist of the song is it's a rule book guide of how to be a heartbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Cantissimo does a very similar thing where she's listing all these things on how to be Cantissimo.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, wow, the music video, like visual similarities to Electra Heart, along with the gist of the song, seems like this is like Electra Heart. If Electra Heart grew up to be as old as Marina is now,
Mm-hmm.
this seems like the Electra Heart's age as Marina, like the older version of Electra Heart. This seems like she's still sassy.
Yeah.
She's still doing her thing. She's still giving a how-to guide on how to be her. It's just she's moved on from being, instead of how to be a heartbreaker and like a home wrecker, this is how, you serve cunt.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you, be your best self or whatever. And people were like, this is nothing like How to Be a Heartbreaker. Like, you're crazy. Like, LOL, the songs sound nothing alike. Like all the comments were like that. And I'm like, well, I'm not saying it's the songs that sound alike. Are you
Yeah.
stupid? They're both list songs. They're just songs that list things.
Uh-huh.
So I'm saying that like every other day someone is on here saying such a stupid theory about Marina.
Mhm.
And then I come here with a valid one. Like, hey, look at the visuals and look at the way the song is made. It's very similar to another song that she made with those visuals. Wouldn't it be cool theory if this was Electra Heart when she was
Yeah.
older? Like, wouldn't that just be fun?
And they said, "Hey, pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?"
That they said, hey, pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town? And I was so pissed. I was fighting with all of them in the comments.
Yeah.
I usually, my rule of thumb is like, don't engage.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sometimes you have
With
to.
this one, I'm like, you are so stupid. And then other people were like, in the How to Be a Heartbreaker music video, she actually was brunette. She did not have blonde hair. I'm like, I'm saying the song.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm saying that the look, like when I say Electra Heart, do you think brunette? No, you don't.
Right.
You don't think brunette. You think blonde because
Well, they
that's the way she is on the album cover. So I'm not saying the music video on the song is a 1-to-1 recreation of the music video on the song of How to Be a Heartbreaker. I'm saying if you look at the song How to Be a Heartbreaker and the song Cantissimo, and then you look at the way she's presented as in the Cantissimo music video and the album cover of Electra Heart, you can kind of see the connection.
What happened to the diamonds?
Oh, I am my own. I don't want to get canceled, but I really feel like Marina should have kept the name Marina and the Diamonds.
So why'd she drop it?
She dropped it, according to her, because she felt like the name was making her like detached from who she was. Like she felt like Marina and the Diamonds was like going to this place that was inauthentic. And she wanted to stay like true to herself.
Yeah.
So she felt like she just needed to drop Marina and the Diamonds and just be Marina. Personally, and I don't want Marina to come for me for this.
Okay.
But I don't think that was a good idea because above anything else, we're talking about search engine optimization.
Yeah.
Just typing Marina, like here in Los Angeles, if your location is on, you get like Marina Del Rey, you get the Marina, you get everything that's not her, because that is like, it's hard to make Marina a thing on its own, like Cher.
Why?
Because there's a lot of other things that have Marina in the name, like geographically, that come up first. And like, so, you know, you'd have to type like Marina music or Marina album. But even then, like, you're just opening the door for so many things. So it's like Marina and the Diamonds, just 100% you typed it in, just led you to her.
It's almost like Andrew Rudy and the August Drama.
Well, Andrew Rudy, like, was not being used by anyone.
But and the August Drama, if you just type in the August Drama.
Well,
I'm a believer. I feel like the group should have been called Andrew Rudy and the August Drama.
Well, I don't like that because that puts me outside of the group.
But then it also messes up the search engine optimization.
No, because the August Drama, like, that is
But there's more Andrew Rudy on the internet than there is the August Drama.
But that's going to change.
Okay. Just know that to me, in my head, I refer to it as Andrew Rudy and the August Drama.
I'm going to sound hypocritical because I'm going to say I think and the names are cheesy. And I do understand that her name is Marina and the Diamonds, but I think it's an exception because I think it's really cool. She was also never trying to be like a band and putting herself first. Her shtick, and people went crazy over this, including me.
Yeah.
At her shows and interviews, she would go, "I'm Marina and you're the Diamonds."
Oh, isn't that stupid?
And together we're Marina and the Diamonds. So to go from that as your branding, I'm Marina and you're the Diamonds, and be like, actually, we splitting up. Sorry guys, peace. You're
not
still the
authentic to me
Diamonds,
anymore.
but it's a silent credit. It's I'm Marina and you're there.
Damn.
You are in my audience. I'm Marina and you are here.
You should talk to her about this. She's playing at the Greek on October 16th.
I also think it was so clever because her last name is Diamandis, which is Greek for diamond. So,
is it? How do you know that?
Because she said.
You know a lot about her.
I have been standing her since I was a sophomore in high school. Year to be determined.
Do you know where the term stan comes from?
A stalker fan?
But do you know where it originated from?
No.
Okay. You were born when this song came out.
Anyways.
Stan by Eminem. The song where he's like a stalker fan to himself. This has been the drama.
Reposition.
Really, in the last minute of it.
Well.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in to the first episode of the Drama Pod, the August Drama Pod, whatever you want to call it. My name was Ace.
My name is Andrew. Where can you find all of us? Well, you can subscribe here on the August Drama YouTube channel. You can also follow the August Drama on Instagram and TikTok. And you can follow me at Andrew Rudy with 3 Y's on TikTok and Instagram. And I also have a YouTube channel.
You'll know
here.
it's him.
Yes. And where can people find you specifically?
And you can find me on Instagram as Animals Over People with 2 underscores at the end, or Spotify, everywhere where there's music, just look up Animals Over People and you will find me. Thanks for hanging out with us for the first episode, and we can't wait to do more.
Yes, we can't wait to see you comment on things you'd like us to talk about. And yeah. See you next time.
And if you have hate comments, fuck you.
Send them to Ace. That's where you can go. Follow Ace on Instagram at Animals Over People with 2 underscores and send him the hate comments, please.
Yeah, I'll take them. I'll review them.
And find his Reddit post and hate on that as well.
Okay. Hasta luego, amigos.
Ciao. Love you. Bye.